Would you go first or would you go second?
I'm not doing that.
I know, but if you had to, gun to your head.
You're going to have to call me a liar. He goes back on his word. I do.
I mean,
Yes.
all I have in this business area is my credibility.
Well,
Word is your bond.
My shit would be, I'd rather have my booty than my credibility.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It is
Welcome back to Macrodosing.
Thursday. Arian, you're on one. Are you on one?
Nah, I like to fuck with you sometimes, man.
You play too much.
How would they say?
They're right.
Fuck them.
It's Thursday. It's April 9th, and that's
Today's
April
bad
10th.
start. Yeah, it's April 9th today. It's April
Got you
10th.
all. Look at him. Got him flustered. Look
Right
at
off
him.
the bat. Everyone's got to play until they get punched in the face. It's Thursday. It's April 10th. Double digits. Beware the Ides of April. Coming up next week, tax day. We're back on Macrodosing. We had Arian Foster, Big T, myself, Mad Dog McKenzie in the booth behind the glass. Today's episode is brought to you by our great friends over at Stella Blue. I had some Stella Blue this morning. True fact. Went downstairs, made a nice little cup of Stella Blue, frothed some milk, added a little creamer. Had a great cup of Joe to start the day. And at Stella Blue Coffee, we believe that good coffee is one of life's non-negotiables. It's time to stop drinking those boring, tasteless big coffee beans and turn instead to Stella Blue. Stella Blue Coffee's delicious roasts are available in cold brew, K-Cups, ground, and whole bean formats. They seamlessly fit into your morning coffee routine. And the best part is a portion of all the proceeds from every purchase benefits Paws Chicago. It finds homes for more than 5,000 dogs and cats every year, and it is home to the nation's largest medical hospital for homeless pets. Enjoy Stella Blue Coffee by using the QR code on the screen right now or by visiting StellaBlueCoffee.com. Use promo code MACRO for 20% off orders of $25 or more, or you can purchase Stella Blue Coffee on Amazon for next day delivery. Stella Blue Coffee, great purpose, better coffee. All right, we're back on Macrodosing. Arian's back with us. Arian, welcome back. How did you shoot?
I shot in the 80s. I did okay. That's where I'm at right now. That's why I was a little late this morning. I was getting a lesson online, and
Online.
You're watching YouTube?
No. So there's this app. I mean, no free promo, but fuck it. It's a really good app. It's called Golf Live, and this dude has coached Jordan Spieth. He's coached a lot of like pros, and so what you do is like you set up your little tripod behind you, and he like watches you swing, and they have technology where you can like how like golf things will draw those plane lines or whatever on your videos. They can do that live, and so they'll analyze your swing live. They can slow it down, and so got me a lot of positive things going on right now. So I'm looking to, if I don't break 80 by the end of this year, I'm not gonna play golf anymore.
Really? You're gonna quit?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It's a dumbass game. Nobody should play if they don't break 80. It's stupid. I hate it, and I'm addicted.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the stakes couldn't be higher.
Stakes are high, and we're first quarter of the year already. Yeah, still first quarter of the year. So I got some time, but it's grind time.
It's
I'm tired of
quarter,
this shit.
But
Second, whatever.
Depends on when you start
early
your
second
fiscal
quarter.
year.
I just got subbed in.
Impact sub.
well, fiscal year, we're in the third quarter, right?
Some companies start their,
Isn't it September?
I don't know, some companies start their years differently.
But on the regular calendar, we're in the second
Regular calendar, we're in Q2.
Yeah.
We're in Q2 right now. And yeah, it's good to have you back, Arian. A lot of stuff going on we got to get to. Right off the bat, there's might be trouble in paradise
With whom?
between Elon and Trump.
Mm.
They're beefing. Why can't we all just get along? It's tough. Elon yesterday called Trump's economic advisor, Peter Navarro, called him Peter Retardo.
So this is the first I'm hearing of this because I have the word
reported? This is real?
Elon muted on Twitter, so I don't see anything about him. But I did see Retardo popping up in a couple of group messages.
Yeah.
And I thought, so now it's good to know where that came from.
Yeah, so Musk was calling him a moron. He called him dumber than a sack of bricks, and then he dropped the nuke on him with Peter Retardo.
Hate to see that.
And It's actually kind of funny because if you go and you read about Peter Navarro and the stuff that he's done, he invented a fake guy that he used to cite for why he's recommending certain economic policies. Peter Navarro invented a guy. I think his name was Ron Vera, Ronvara, and he said you should talk to Ron Vera about the tariff plan and about how we can use some of these policies that I'm advocating for and how they'll end up creating jobs in manufacturing. Ron Vera is an invented person whose name is only consistent of letters from the words Peter and Navarro. So he just made up this guy. He doesn't exist anywhere. And then Elon found out about that and was like, "You're Peter Retardo," which is, I mean, doesn't get any better than that.
It's a kill shot.
Doesn't. So yeah, there's some beef in the family right now. And I don't know whose side you're going to take in this. I just wish all my friends would get along. It's tough. So, yeah, what else we want to talk about in the news, Big T? What you got that's important that you would like to bring up? The dire wolves?
Yeah, we're bringing them back.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know those were real.
I didn't either. I thought that they were a creation of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But apparently the dire wolves that we're bringing back aren't real dire wolves. So they said that scientists have created a way to access the DNA and bring back a once extinct species. It's Jurassic Park. But it turns out that the dire wolves that they're making are just gray wolves, and they went in and they altered their genetics, like CRISPR technology almost.
But would that not be how you would do it?
It'd be like a man-made dire wolf. Not like
right. I don't think anyone disputes that.
Have you seen Jurassic Park?
A long time ago.
So the premise of Jurassic Park is they go back, they find a mosquito that was trapped in tree sap, and it was fossilized over the course of millions of years. And then they stick a needle in there and they pull out the dino DNA that it sucked out. Then they use that to recreate dinosaurs. With this one, they're taking gray wolf DNA from wolves that already exist right now, extracting that, and then going in and changing some of the things in the DNA by hand to make what they think a dire wolf would be.
I read that these two wolves were brought back from extinction using genetic edits derived from a complete direwolf genome meticulously reconstructed from ancient DNA found in fossils dating back 11,500 and 72,000 years. This moment marks a milestone for us as a company, but also a leap forward for science, whatever.
So I think they have old direwolf DNA that they can look at, but they can't replicate it. So they know what the direwolf DNA looks like, and now they're taking gray wolves and then changing the genes in there to match what they know the direwolf DNA looks like.
Okay, and you're saying that's not real because they didn't do what happened in Jurassic Park?
I'm saying it's not real because it's not like they took direwolf DNA and then just copied that.
I mean, I'm not a genetic expert. This sounds like how you would do it to me. I don't know.
Yeah. So like so they do this with like gene editing. They've taken like butterflies and they've turned on like there's some microbes that have bioluminescent capabilities, and they'll turn on the bioluminescent gene, and they have like butterflies that are bioluminescent, like experimenting. So basically it is copying it. They're just saying, okay, this is the sequence that matches. We'll just turn this on, turn this off, turn this off, and then that's what a dire wolf is. Like we share the same, like 95% genes of what a banana is, right? It's just the small different percent makes a vast amount of difference. So they're just like, so it is the same.
Kind of. I guess it's like if you took an old painting and then you made a paint by numbers book, and then people were out there and they got to follow all the different numbers and recreate that painting.
So what could they have done for you to say it's real then?
You're just saying it wasn't natural.
It wasn't natural.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Well, it wasn't the naturally occurring DNA from the direwolf. That's what I'm saying. Like they have that. They have naturally recurring DNA from a direwolf, but it's not like they used that and then with that sample created a new wolf. They just like saw what the differences were, and then they went into a gray wolf's DNA and they manually changed the DNA of the gray wolf to make it a dire wolf.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like how you would do it to me. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm not. Am
I wrong? That sounds like what you would do.
I know what both of y'all are saying.
I'm not a genetics expert, but I did read a bunch of stuff about this from scientists who are experts, and they were saying this is not really using the direwolf DNA in the way that they're making it seem like it is.
So he's basically saying, Big T, like,
No, I
they didn't
understand.
extract actual DNA.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Just gotta find some tree sap.
Well, also Alex Jones was saying that this is the technology that they're using is the same technology that we use to do gain of function research and gene altering on viruses. So beware.
Is that true?
Yeah, well, Alex Jones said it. Put another nickel in the Alex Jones was right jar.
He hits every so often.
Now, if you were wondering what Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, had to say about the direwolves, which
I was actually the first thought to pop in my head.
Recurring guest, people forget that. He said that people should focus on mastering training chihuahuas before they adopt direwolves.
As someone whose parents have a chihuahua, that's probably not inaccurate.
Yeah, because with a chihuahua, with a small dog, they're usually not that well behaved, because if they start acting up, you can just pick it up.
He's a very sweet boy. Sometimes he does lash out.
Yeah, because you can manhandle a chihuahua. You don't have to worry about teaching him, like, sit, lay down, stay, because worst case scenario, you just reach down, you're like, okay, problem solved.
I heard he had an incident the other day with the guys that were remodeling my parents' bathroom.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he wasn't a fan.
They got low man syndrome. That's why I don't fuck with them. Chihuahuas, they always trying out to prove something. You calling me small? Like, no, bro. I'm just walking by the fridge, bro. Relax. I'm all for this though. This is why I feel like there's an imbalance in nature. Everything has a predator. You know what I'm saying? Lions don't really have predators like that. Tigers really don't have predators like that. There's too many big cats. We need some big dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Real.
We need some big.
Put that on a shirt.
That's just fact. Yo, I want a bigger direwolf. I want a Game of Thrones direwolf, to where when they see a big cat and the big cat see them, it's like, hold on, like, we got some company. Yeah, I want bigger dogs. I want a 1,000-pound dog.
I like that. I like that a lot. Cats are walking around too comfortable. Like, the lions, I'm king of the jungle. Nothing fucks with me. I just sit here in the sun and get laid all day.
Ipso facto, all their relatives walk around high and mighty. So regular cats who ain't shit be walking around with all this arrogance, and they don't got the pedigree to do that, but they get it from their ancestors.
Yeah, the regular cats are like, you want to fuck with me? Let me call up some of the homies, see how tough you are.
Exactly. My cousin right down the street in the zoo.
You fancy yourself a Game of Thrones fan, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it.
What are the names of Jon's,
fucking crazy
Sansa's, and Arya's direwolves?
No idea.
Ooh, hold on.
Jon's is so easy, and Arya's
give me
is
one
crazy.
give me one of them. I'm sure I can get the other one.
Gray.
No, Jon's is Ghost.
Ghost was the one I knew for sure. Ghost.
Well, you didn't say it.
I was thinking Ghost, but I couldn't confirm it. All right, just give me the other ones. I'm not gonna give it.
Sansa's is Lady, and Arya's is Nymeria.
Nymeria, that was the cold one.
Then there's other ones too, but I don't. The other ones are irrelevant.
That's a great.
Like Rob had one. It's in the first episode. It's one of the first scenes when they come across the pack of direwolves.
We need some dogs like that, bro. Get like reset nature. Drop them in the jungle and let them go crazy.
How big would you like a dog to be? Because the direwolf, just reading briefly about it, looks like it gets up to 150 pounds. Not to brag, Leroy is bigger than that. I had a dog that was bigger than direwolf.
He might be too big though. He's tearing ligaments.
That's Leroy.
R.I.P. Yes,
Leroy.
R.I.P.
Blake might be too big. He's as we speak right now.
Is Blake bigger than that?
Blake is 125.
Got it.
As we speak right now, Blake is in surgery on Thursday.
Prayers.
Yeah, prayers up for Blake. He's gonna come out stronger. He tore his CCL, which is the dog equivalent of an ACL.
What y'all doing, man? What you doing to that dog, bro?
He can't cut. He can't cut for a while.
I'm gonna ask a stupid question.
Uh-huh.
When dogs get surgery, is that at a vet or is there like a dog hospital?
Dog surgeon.
How much?
They go to that didn't answer my question. They go to it's at the vet or you go to a different place?
Different place. I went to the vet when he got hurt.
Right.
They diagnosed him. They gave him like an X-ray and they said, okay, you need to take him to the orthopedic for dogs, which is where we took him last time when he fucked up his elbows. Took him in there. They looked at the X-rays. They did their own exam. They're like, yeah, this is torn CCL. we can get him scheduled for surgery this week if you want. So now I bring him back to them.
So there's
Man,
a dog
dog
ortho surgeon
yeah.
place.
He got a referral to an ortho.
Nice.
Yeah, took him
Nice.
in. What was that, Aaron?
I said, man's dog got a BBL.
He actually doesn't. That's the thing is like his butt not that big.
Hey, so how much money did you pay on this surgery, cuz?
All right, so I have dog insurance, which you can get. You can get pet insurance.
That you're laughing. You got to have insurance
Yeah.
if you have a pet.
Yeah, especially if you have a big dog, because they do. Here's the thing, Arian. They do everything at the vet by weight. So, like, depending on how much your dog weighs, that's how much the medicine is going to cost, because he's going to need a higher dose. The surgery is more expensive. It's done by weight as well. So we're looking at about. I think the estimate was $5,000 for knee surgery. But I do have pet insurance, which I pay into every month. So that'll take probably, I think, 60 or 70% off that.
Such a bad investment.
A dog isn't an investment.
It's a family member.
Although,
Piece of my heart walking around on the outside.
I mean, Leroy was kind of an investment. Leroy ended up making money for me by the end of his life. Because he got a job. He was an insider.
Yeah.
And so he got sponsored for some of his breaking news.
That's
so
a good investment.
Yeah, so my dog made me money. But Blake, so far, he hasn't really. I haven't seen a return on him. He's kind of like he's a hot young prospect. Can't stay off the DL. Can't make the club in the tub.
Yeah. My daughter. I shared a dog with my ex, and I lost him in a divorce, but it was all good. It was the husky.
Yeah, I bet you were torn up.
Yeah, it broke my heart. He just died,
Oh,
and my daughter was bawling, and that I felt bad. Not because he died, because she was so sad. You know what I mean? And
You
it
didn't
was
feel a
her
little
first-
bad that he died?
I just didn't. I don't have what you guys have there. I acknowledge that people are hurt when their pets died. That I understand grief. Grief is a real thing, and I don't rub it in.
How
Like,
long did you
like,
live with that dog?
I say about 5 years.
Damn.
Yeah. I just don't have it. I don't. It's an animal to me, and like I don't. Like I say it all the time. How you feel about pigs, I feel about dogs. I just don't. They're there.
You think they're delicious?
I wouldn't know that part, but I'm talking about the aspect of their.
That's what I think
existence.
about pigs.
Well, I'm saying, but you don't care about their existence. You care about their existence to the extent it benefits you, right? But aside from that, you don't care about a pig getting slaughtered. Like I wouldn't care if dogs do too. Like I just wouldn't care.
That's nuts.
yeah, that's nuts.
It's not nuts.
It's nuts.
It's you've been conditioned to be emotionally attached.
Yes,
to
but
those
you
animals.
should have too.
No, like I don't have. I don't know what it is. I don't have it. Like it's a thing that people have. I don't have it, and I don't. But I've grown to become more understanding about your grief, though.
Yeah, I
Except
think
for those people who troll me online, like that. I'm like, yo, fuck you and your dog.
I think Arian showed a lot of growth today by just wishing that there were bigger dogs.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a positive step. I agree with that.
Thank
It would rock if there was like a 1,000-pound wolf just like roaming around the Black Forest of Switzerland.
Absolutely,
Right?
dog.
That would kick ass.
Be
Also,
amazing.
how about this one? This is my unpopular opinion alert. What's the sound for that, Big T? Do we have a sound effect?
I've been
I'll
asking
come up
for
with one by next time.
soundboard on this podcast for 2 years, and nobody cares about me.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Unpopular opinion alert.
No, it should be like like flames.
Oh, okay.
Now
That's
we're in
why.
a sound off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a flame sound.
I kind of like Big T's one a little bit better. The womp womp makes it seem, it takes some of the steam out of it.
Right, because it makes it seem like you're about to say something shitty.
Unpopular.
Yeah. Well, not unpopular, just sad.
But this is going to get people riled up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
do it.
hot.
Unpopular opinion alert. I think humans need predators.
We have them.
Oh, we have one of the biggest predators there is.
If you say mosquitoes, I am going to quit.
No,
right.
viruses and bacteria.
Yeah, that doesn't count. I'm talking hunters. Like
I mean, go
you go outside.
You want us to be hunted?
You
go
go
in the Amazon for a little while. You'll be hunted.
You go outside, head on a swivel. Humans have lost our situational awareness. That's the problem.
There are
That's
places you
true.
can still live where that is the case.
That is true. Yeah, but I mean, like in nature, like
But
if,
you can equip yourself to defend yourself at a way like if I walk around I'm chilling with a big ass gun anywhere I'm at in the world. So you're saying you want a superior species to be able to hunt us?
I'm saying like you go outside, you walk across the parking lot to get to your car, and next thing you know, there's like a giant lizard that chases you down and eats you for food if you're not paying attention.
All them big T's right. There are places where that can happen.
Or like you're walking down the street and there's like a stack of money, and you're like, oh, what's all this money doing out here? And you go up to it, and the money looks kind of different from regular money, but you reach down to pick it up, and it's just the mouth of a frog with giant fangs, and it just eats you. Like that's something that they evolve.
Do you think that we could share
A trapdoor spider that like goes down the street, and there's like it looks like maybe kind of a 2D cutout of a naked chick, and dudes see it and they're like, oh, what's that over there? Looks like some giant tits on the ground. And they walk over to it, and it's a spider, and it just eats the fuck out of you.
You want Jumanji?
Yeah.
Do you think we could share this Earth with another intelligent species? Like, say
No.
there's another ape species. Say they begin to develop their own language and their own sentience.
We can't even get along with other humans.
I mean, I'm just saying
we would be racist as fuck against those other species.
No question. No question. Yes, species. Would it be? I guess it is a different race of animals, class animals.
Yeah, like if there was a different species of humans that had like 4 arms, it'd be like, look at this quad walking down the street towards us. I always cross the street when I see a quad.
What is it? There's that theory that our species that made it, what is it, Homo sapiens, had a big war with, I think it was Neanderthals.
Yeah,
there was like a huge war, like because I mean they're different. There's a theory. I think I read it in Sapiens, but that'd be interesting, man. Like I can just imagine like apes, because apes are intelligent, but they don't have like, they've never asked why. If they've ever developed that sentience, and they start developing language and stuff, like they're like, yo, we wanna etch out our own pieces of land. Like how fast we would shut that shit down.
Yeah, I mean, some people to this day, they have Neanderthal DNA.
Yeah.
So yeah, there probably was a giant war back then.
Shout out to the ancestors, man.
Shout out to the ancestors. Shout out to any predators out there. I just think it make everyday life that much more exhilarating, right?
I could do without it,
man.
I don't know why you're clamoring for that.
Just think about it. I just think that humans need to wake up every day feeling luckier. Like thankful to be alive. Make the small things that much better.
You can instill that without running the risk of being killed all the time.
How?
It's just it's a trait. Some people have it, some don't.
Every day is a gift. John Rothstein, Art Lovely. One of his famous quotes. What else is in the news today? We got Ja Morant back at it again.
I think this is hilarious.
I do too. I love it.
Like it's he shouldn't be doing it, but it's hysterical.
It's the best. Aaron, have you seen any of this?
I haven't.
All right, so I can explain it to you. You remember Ja got in a bit of hot water because he was addicted to showing guns on Instagram Lives. So he got suspended for a little bit. He quit that cold turkey, which we said at the time, like, that's a problem. You can't just quit cold turkey. You have to wean yourself off flashing guns. And so then he started this year when he came back after his injury and his coach got fired. He came back, and after big shots, he would start pulling out the fake gun, right? Like the rifle. That was his celebration. The NBA did an investigation when him and Buddy Hield had a little fake gun standoff in a game. And the result of their investigation was that they asked Ja Morant to please stop doing the fake gun stuff. The very next day, he went out there and he did the fake gun again. And you could see, like, he pulled it up and then he immediately put it down. He's like, shit, that's right. I'm not supposed to do that. But it's just, like, so ingrained in him to hold a gun, either real or fake, that it was like just natural reaction. Made a shot, gun. Oh shit, can't do that. So he did that 2 games in a row, and then yesterday he's moved on from guns. It's an arms race, a fake arms race. And he threw a fake grenade into the crowd after he hit a shot. He like bit the pin out of it and tossed it.
And covered his ears.
Ears
Made a show of it.
Yeah.
Love that.
This guy's addicted to arms. I don't know.
It's escalating. Can you simulate like developing a nuclear weapon?
You gotta go bazooka next, no?
Bazooka next. Maybe he can simulate flying the Enola Gay and releasing the bomb. I don't know. I don't know where he goes from there. Can you simulate Oppenheimer?
He'll find a way.
You gotta work your way up there. You got a bazooka. You got a century gun. You got some time to get there, man.
The Needler
What's the Needler?
from Halo.
I forget. It's
The
been
needle gun.
years.
What are the best guns? The best guns that don't actually exist but only existed in video games.
That's a great question.
Golden gun. 007. Easy. One shot. One hitter
Oh,
quitter.
The PP7. Was that?
We call it the golden gun. I don't know.
I know the PP7 was like the first one that you had that had the giant silencer on it.
The Needler. I'm just looking at pictures of this. That
Yeah.
shit brought back. Oh my god. It brought me back on my college days. God.
I mean one of the classics is the BFG 9000 from Doom,
Man, I never was into Doom.
the plasma rifle from Doom. That was pretty sick too.
Golden gun. 007 dog. One hitter.
Josh should like get a drone, an actual drone, and then after he hits a game-winning shot, he flies the drone above the crowd, and then it releases it drops a fake bomb on the crowd.
I understand people not wanting to do that, but that's such a common celebration for cats. You know what I'm saying? Cats be doing that all the time.
I feel like it is different though when you've gotten in some trouble with real guns.
He ain't shot nobody, man.
And allegedly pointed a gun at a team bus, or one of his buddies did.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I think so. The fake gun
Damn.
thing. Let me ask you this, Arian, and Big T, mostly for Big T. What would you rather, Ja, do? Have a real gun or have a fake gun?
Maybe, so you're saying maybe this is a weaning off for him.
Yes.
As long as he's doing the fake guns, that means we're keeping him away from the real stuff.
Yes, you can't quit guns cold turkey. This is like the methadone of guns. He has to have it, he has to do it every day. You have to do it on a regular basis, or else he gets dope sick from guns.
I suppose that's a viable theory. Yeah, I don't know.
That's funny, dog.
I think it'd be funny if he just keeps finding new weapons.
Yeah.
Like they're like, you can't throw a grenade into the crowd, and then he shows up with the drone or something.
Yeah, the drone, the atomic bomb, the shoulder mounted, like the RPG.
Yeah,
would be pretty solid. There was, you used to be able to do the finger guns, but that was mostly it was too cartoonish, I think. There was a famous soccer player, Robbie Keane, and he would score a goal, and then he would do like a round off or a cartwheel, and then he'd do one of these numbers right here with the thumbs up and the index finger, like one of those.
And Yosemite Sam had a
Yosemite Sam style. That was like cartoonish, so everybody was like, okay, this is cool. But when Ja does it, he does it with intent. He like pulls that thing out and then he points it at he's thinking about shooting you. So
let him do it.
Let him
Ain't
cook.
hurting nobody. Man, I ain't nobody.
Exactly. Nobody's ever died from an air gun, right?
I'm sure someone
Not to my
has.
knowledge.
You think someone's had a heart attack when somebody pulls out an imaginary invisible gun?
Oh, you're talking
Oh,
a
you're
finger
talking about
gun.
a finger gun.
I
Yeah,
thought you
finger
meant
gun.
like an airsoft.
Airsoft.
gun.
Oh, no,
I was
airsoft.
like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
bet that's probably happened.
It's definitely
Yeah,
happened.
I thought you meant airsoft gun.
Yeah, that was a bad job by me. But
Finger gun.
Finger gun. Has anybody ever died from a finger gun?
From the direct result of being shown one, I wouldn't imagine so.
Now, I did read a story about a guy that tried to rob a store using a finger gun.
How'd that go?
Like a week ago. He got arrested.
Mm.
But maybe that could lead to, if you rob
What's the charges there? Is that with brandishing a weapon? What do you get charged for?
I don't know.
Just robbery.
Well, is it
But,
robbery?
I mean, you get more time if there's an actual weapon. But if you fake got a weapon, is there any more time?
I think so. I believe I remember one time a guy tried to rob a bank and he like passed a note that said, "I have a gun, give me all the money," and he didn't have one, but they still charged him as if he had one because he made it seem like he did.
And there's a
Yeah,
chance
that's
that
kind of bullshit right there.
there's a chance that if you call the cops and you tell the cops, "Hey, there's a guy robbing the bank. He says he has a gun." The cops come in and they think you have a gun. They try to shoot you, and they hit somebody else. Like somebody could die in that situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a big bank heist, I think 20, 30 years ago, where the bank robbers all had fake guns, and they left those behind after the robbery, so that when the cops found them, they find the guns and they're like, "Oh shit, these are all replicas. They're not real." Then the charge was like slightly less because they weren't going to kill anybody.
But they still got charged with like having something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I wonder if anybody's ever died from from a finger gun, an invisible gun.
I don't think so, man.
Probably
Maybe
not.
at like a nursing home, like everyone's just on the edge of death.
Maybe a mime. If
Kinda
a mime does
mimics-
it and they're too good that you believe they have one.
Be the greatest mime ever if really committed to the bit.
Yeah, like if they kill you with an invisible sword.
And then you just go into the coffin.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess let Jock cook. He's not actually hurting anybody right now.
Let Josh shoot.
Yep. Houston could learn a lot from John Morant.
Yeah, take the shot.
Take the shot. Always take the shot. Do we want to talk about that? I know it's 2 days ago, but we had
It's 3 days ago by the time it comes out.
3 days ago. Big T. Sorry that Florida won.
Yeah.
I
whatever.
still don't.
They were a great team.
Still don't know how
Head
Houston
coach,
lost that.
not a great guy, but great team.
So, can you educate us as to what happened with Todd Golden?
Well, it's all alleged.
It's alleged.
The investigation's been completed. There was no wrongdoing found as they were en route to a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
He allegedly was sending some Instagram DMs.
I heard pictures and videos of his penis. Allegedly,
I think that was alleged. He was allegedly maybe getting into a little stalking with some I believe freshmen on campus.
I think multiple
Yeah.
multiple co-eds.
Yeah, but again, the investigation was completed and nothing happened, and they had an outstanding basketball team this year.
So it sounds like he's either a world-class creep,
Allegedly.
or this was all made up by multiple women that were trying to get him in trouble for something, whether to extort him or because they had a personal beef, or they were just
Which is possible.
bored and bad. I don't know. Yeah, it is possible, but it seems I don't know. Anytime there's like multiple, makes you wonder.
Yeah, so I guess we'll never know. Is the shame.
Yep,
The players on that team, though, great team.
great team. Houston's defense, I thought, did a great job against Patrick Clayton.
Walter Clayton.
Sorry, Walter Clayton. They did a great job shutting him down. He got some in the second half, but yeah, Houston, their defense is just they're still. I mean, obviously a very good team. They were leading almost the entire game, which I think was the problem because Houston, they're used to being the team that is coming back.
Right.
But playing with a lead, I think, was a little bit tougher for them.
Yeah.
So now we're on to the Masters. On to the Masters, and Arian, you are the world's hottest gambler. Congratulations. It seems like every time I turn around, you're winning a bet.
No,
mean,
but
I
that's
do-
the thing. It's not every time you turn around, he picks his spots.
Yeah, but every time I turn
Right.
around and I see him betting.
Yes, he knows how to pick his spots, though. He's not firing every day.
Yeah. So
That's true.
so who do we like this week, Arian?
I'm not 100% confident about this one, but I think so. This is the logic behind it, right? I think the Masters, if you look at it, I think 30%. I think I saw the stat. 30% of left-handed golfers they win 30% more on the Masters. And it's because the Masters is set up for you have to hit draws. And pros don't with this equipment, nowadays they don't love hitting draws. It's hard. Like you'll see like Scotty Scheffler, he'll like have awkward body movement. It's harder for them to hit draws on a consistent basis. Draw is harder to hit rather than a fade with today's equipment.
Yeah.
So I picked somebody who's hot right now, but you wouldn't really know about him because he plays in Live. Joaquin Neiman. Playing really well. I think he hit the draw really well. And also Colin Morikawa. I picked him top five, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then my sleeper pick to win it all. I put a little bit on him. I don't think he's gonna win it all, but it's just fun. I like hitting home runs when I bet sometimes. Sergio Garcia. Sergio Garcia is playing really well right now as well, and he has really no shot to win. But like I said, I like home runs.
Okay. All right.
So you got to hit the draw at the Masters, man. Almost every hole you have to shape it in that direction. So that's the logic behind it.
John Rahm was saying that there's I forget, it's the number one hole in terms of handicap on the
11.
course.
I think number 11.
Is that the one where he said that some of the trees got knocked down from the hurricane, so you might be able to hit a fade on that? And so he might just be aiming over the houses where there used to be a couple trees and trying to land on the fairway that way.
And they extended that tee box back a little bit this year too. So I'm excited, man. I'm super hyped, dog. I'm gonna be glued to the TV for sure.
Yeah, it's great. Here's my method of gambling on the Masters. In most major golf tournaments, this is what I like to do. I bet on all the friends, so I usually sprinkle a little bit on Brooks, which has been profitable in the past. Sprinkle some on Max Homa. That's not as profitable, but I pivoted to just doing like top fives or top tens. Max has not been playing well recently, but he did shoot 7 under on the front 9 on a practice round this week at Augusta. And so I do those two, and then I usually pick either Will Zalatoris or I pick Colin Morikawa. And then if they are not in contention on Saturday, then on Saturday I go back and I bet on somebody that I think will be in contention. And then on Sunday, if I'm lucky, I win enough money on that bet to make up for all the money that I spent betting on Max and Brooks and Colin Morikawa in the opening round.
That's a sound strategy.
That's my strategy. I do not recommend following this strategy.
I'm on Colin.
Yeah, don't do any of my picks. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm guessing.
But this year, I like Aberg. He played really well at Augusta last year. Huh?
Oberg.
It's Oberg.
It's with an A.
I'm aware.
You want to bet?
His name is Aberg.
Ludwig Oberg.
Do you want to bet though?
Bet on what?
How I pronounce it.
How I pronounce it.
I don't care how you pronounce it.
I pronounce it Aberg.
He's speaking his truth, so he can kind of do it however he wants.
Speak your truth, King. It's Aberg.
Aberg. Ludwig Aberg. His name is Ludwig. So he played really good in his first round or his first Masters last year. So I'm gonna bet on him again this year.
I don't hate that pick. I like that pick too. He has a nice swing.
Yeah, good swing. Jake Knapp, still holding out hope that he might win.
God damn. He didn't make it, did he? He didn't make it.
No, he didn't qualify.
Qualify.
So here's the worst thing. I haven't checked today, but I think I'm gonna have to stare at that bet in my DraftKings app, as still like an open bet on Jake Knapp to win the Masters.
He'll be gone in a few days, though.
He'll be gone in a few days, but I still have to look at it and it's gonna remind me of how dumb I am.
I have pitched this to Jack McCarthy. I don't know if this has made its way to the people at DraftKings. If not, I'll put it on camera now. I would bet so many more futures if there was a futures tab on the app where I didn't have to see them in my bet slip for 6 months. Like I bet James Pierce to be the number 1 overall pick. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be the number 1 overall pick. And I've had to look at it for months and months and months. And I would rather it just be in its own tab so that if it's a loser, I don't have to look at it. And even if it's not, if it's a bet that's 5 months off, I don't have to, it's not clogging up my bet slip.
Yeah. I think that's fair. So yes, I still have to look at Jake Knapp plus 20,000, the Masters 2025
good value.
Winner. You never know. Maybe there's an accident. Maybe Scotty gave a bunch of guys food poisoning at the Champions dinner. Maybe they have to bow out and Jake Jake gets the call. But
Skillet cookies looked incredible.
they did. Did you see the Masters picture of the Champions Dinner?
Yeah.
Is Phil okay?
He looked excited.
He
He
didn't-
looked happy to be there.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone was making fun of him.
It didn't look like he had much of an appetite.
Oh,
He looked like he was happy to be in Augusta again.
some
Phil
people
Mixon?
were saying he. Did you see the Josh Allen MVP accusations?
Yeah. I made those accusations.
Oh, God damn it!
Yeah. No, but you're right. He was
Oh my God, you were so right.
he was thinking about Josh Allen winning MVP. Did you get that pick too?
Yes.
He's a sleeper pick too, by the way.
Who?
Phil
Phil?
Mickelson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because once again, he's a lefty and he's playing really well right now. He's really harnessing the game. I watch a lot of YouTube golf, and he's playing well on live. And again, he's a left-handed golfer, and this course favors that.
Yes, Mad Dog?
I have a qualifying for the Masters question.
Okay.
So
I don't know how qualification works, but I will give you an answer that I will be extremely confident and probably wrong about.
okay, so Jake Knapp didn't qualify, which is sad because we were going to go to Mexico if he won.
Mhm.
How did he not qualify? Isn't he like? Do you get an automatic qualification if you're in the top like world rankings?
Okay,
Yes.
I think it's top 50 of the world golf rankings. And then there's exemptions if you've won the Masters in the past.
Right, I knew that.
You get a lifetime qualification.
Right.
If you win a major, you get a qualification for
if you win a major in that past year.
It's for several years.
I think it's several years.
Okay.
It might be 3 or 5. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
I have the specifications in front of me.
Okay.
Masters tournament champion, lifetime entry.
Mhm.
Right.
U.S. Open champions for 5 years, Open champions for 5 years, PGA champions for 5 years.
Okay, so majors for 5 years.
Winner of the Players for 3 years, current Olympic gold medalist,
Ooh.
current U.S. amateur champion,
Mhm.
amateur runner-up, current Asia Pacific amateur champion, Latin America amateur champion. There's a bunch of amateur shit. Current NCAA Division I men's individual champion.
Really?
The first 12 players in the previous year's Masters, the first 4 players in the other majors of the previous year, individual winners of PGA Tour events that award a full point allocation from previous Masters so for the last year.
So if you win a PGA tournament, like a good PGA tournament,
Yeah.
you get, even if you're not in the top 50, you get
Okay.
invited.
Then the 50 leaders on the official world golf ranking for the previous calendar year, and the 50 leaders on the official world golf ranking published the week prior to the current Masters.
Okay, so Jake Knapp didn't fill any of those.
None. Not a single one.
I thought he was like kind of good.
Well, he almost won a tournament like a month ago,
yeah.
and that would have gotten him in.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
he
shot like a 59.
So then,
but
how
he had
does-
a quadruple bogey on
Okay.
number 11 in his final round and fucked us.
So is Max Homa in the top 50 golfers?
I don't think that he is right now.
So how is he in?
Probably based on,
He's in the top 50
is he?
for sure.
He's been playing pretty bad.
I know. He's 81.
Yeah.
So
Really?
So he finished top 10 at the Masters a couple years ago. I don't know.
Like that's what I'm more asking is like how did Jake Knapp not get in? Max did.
Well, Max has done a lot more over his career than Jake Knapp has.
He finished 3rd last year.
That was last year.
Max Homa
Third
did?
place. I thought that, my bad. I thought that was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. So then that gets him in.
Yep.
Okay, got it. So that's how. Okay, that's what I was asking.
Listen, third at the Masters it sucks in golf because if you finish third place at the Masters, that is such an accomplishment and you get paid so much money. And it's one of the hardest things to do. But still, if you're a top tier golfer, you're pissed off that you finished in third because you're that close to winning.
I was watching Full Swing, and it shows like, oh, they finished 12th and made $600,000, and they're getting in the car like so pissed off, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'd be just fine, you know?
Yes.
And then the next week, you're playing again next week. You have an opportunity to win another $1 million.
Yeah.
I think that I 1,000% picked the wrong profession. I had played in the tournament, that pro tournament, with a bunch of ex-professional athletes or NFL players, It is one of the funnest things I've ever done. Just being in like a real tournament. Even the Writers Cup that we did. It's so
Mhm.
fun to be able to like get up in the morning, have some food, shoot golf. That's what you're there for. You know what I mean? Like it's an amazing it's like it's cheating at life.
I
Everybody does, everybody leisurely does golf. And you do that shit for a living, bro, that shit would be so fun.
I disagree though, Aaron.
I'm listening.
When you say that you picked the wrong profession, I think you picked the right profession. You're a
You
great
picked a pretty good one.
You're a great podcaster.
You're not wrong. I appreciate that, man. So it means a lot coming from you, but
Yeah. No, I think it worked out for you. I think the whole NFL.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I was cornered into it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so growing up in like the place I grew up in and the circumstance I grew up, I didn't have a lot of options. It was either basketball or football. You know what I'm saying? The schools are shit, and New Mexico's ranked like, I don't know, it was in the 40s, I think, when I was growing up in public education. I just didn't have a chance, and so the only opportunity I had was like sports, and so I I couldn't afford golf clubs, right? So either basketball or football or baseball. I could have played baseball. I should have played baseball too. But it was just so boring when I grew up. I fell asleep in the dugout when I was like 12. I was like, I'm not playing this shit. It's just boring as hell. That was nice though.
I mean, baseball is really the sport you should have played.
I should have played that as well. Yeah,
Guaranteed
baseball.
contracts.
Speaking of which,
You get nice
Lot
big
bigger.
rosters.
my Brewers are 6-5. I have not missed a game.
I
I've watched every game.
I was on PlayStation last night with one of my friends, and you texted me about William Contreras hitting a home run, and I was like, I can't believe he's watching the Milwaukee Brewers every night. I love it. It's hilarious.
I get an update on my phone when they play. I know the schedules. Like I'm really gonna go to the Pirate Stadium to go watch the Brewers with Nikki, bro. Is you coming?
Yeah, I'd like to be in on that probably.
Let's rock. But yeah, I'm enjoying. I'm learning so much about the game, and I'm learning to casually view it as ambience noise in the background, but also like I'm appreciating like the nuances of the game. You know what I mean? The 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 pitches, the different kind of pitches, how we utilize rotation, how many different pitchers there are, the rotation in the outfield with each batter. Like all this shit is like fascinating to me because I've never really paid attention.
Name as many pitches as you can.
All right, we got a fastball, we got a changeup, we got a curveball, we got a slider. I think there's a knuckleball. Is that one?
Mhm.
Yeah, nobody throws it, but yeah.
Yeah, there's knuckleball. I think that's all I got in the chamber. Give me some more.
Sweeper.
Yeah, so
There's a
sweeper
okay.
is what's hot in the streets right now. It's kind of a slider curveball combo.
Okay.
There's a cutter, which is a fastball that moves a little bit toward your glove side as a pitcher. Then there's a sinker, which is a fastball that moves arm side. What other pitches are there? There's a circle change, which is a slight variant from a changeup.
We used to call the sinker. There used to be a fork ball
Yep.
that you would throw.
Kodai Senga throws a forkball. Splitter, which is a kind of a fastball,
Splitter.
but your fingers are really far apart and it
I've heard of
dives.
Gyro ball.
I think that's a forkball. It might be different.
It might also not exist.
No, I've heard it before, but I think it's just another name for a forkball.
Yeah, I think it's a pitch that it was Dice K, right? When Dice K came over, they're like he throws a gyro ball. No pitcher's ever thrown this pitch before, and only he can throw it.
Have you noticed that every pitcher that comes from Japan now, people just make a mildly racially charged name for a new pitch they have? Like I forget if it's Yamamoto or Sasaki for the Dodgers, but somebody has coined this guy's pitch like it's the dragon something. It's like he's just throwing a splitter. Like it's not the dragon pitch.
I kind of like that though. Like I don't think that's problematic.
No,
If anything, it just makes
funny.
me wish that we talked about dragons more.
Like, and they call Kodai Senga's forkball the ghost fork.
Okay.
It's just every pitcher from Japan has to have a cool new like name for one of their pitches.
I mean, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
This is the sumo ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dice K threw the gyro ball. Some pitchers throw a screwball. Not really so much anymore, but the screwball was like the opposite spin of a curveball. So you would come over the top with your hand And it was supposed, as a right-hand pitcher, it was supposed to run in on right-hand batters, but it fucks with your elbow a lot.
There's a knuckle curve, 12-6 curveball, which has slightly different movement than a regular curveball.
The slider.
We said slider.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's most of them.
I think
Two-seam fastball in addition to four-seam fastball.
I think Greg Maddux had something like 3 or 4 different changeups that he would throw.
Probably.
At some point, it's just analysis by paralysis. It's like an 82-mile-an-hour changeup as opposed to an 85-mile-an-hour changeup.
Arian, you should watch the MLB Network. I'll try to find it and send it to you. Did a documentary on Greg Maddux. You should watch that to appreciate like the art of pitching.
Yeah.
Like that guy, he threw like 92 miles an hour. He's the best pitcher to ever live. Like he told a story in that where
Really? I thought it was Randy Johnson.
There's a plethora that you could pick from. I would pick Greg Maddux, but he said they were playing the Astros in like August and they were killing them, and he called Eddie Perez, the Braves catcher, up to him and said, I'm going to throw Jeff Bagwell a fastball right down the middle. I want him to hit a home run. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? He said, just trust me. So he grooves him a fastball. Bagwell kills it, hits a homer. And they get back to the dugout, and Eddie Perez says, what the hell are you doing? He said, just trust me. He said, we're going to play them in the playoffs, and he's going to think that pitch is coming, and it's not. And they played the Astros in the playoffs, and he faced Jeff Bagwell in a big situation and struck him out. He said, do you remember when I grooved him that fastball, and then he threw him a changeup in the playoffs and he swung and missed?
Fucking wild.
Like, that's the kind of shit that, like, he was the best.
Wow. Please send me that shit.
No, it's awesome.
I guess you could say, like, Greg Maddux is like Jokic in this debate. Randy Johnson's like Shaq. Randy Johnson was dominant, and he was intimidating as this big lefty. But Greg Maddux was the smartest pitcher to ever pitch. And there's not really a close second.
And just he could put the ball, I mean, within a millimeter of where he was trying to put it. Like,
love it. No, yeah, send me all the stuff. I will. I want to watch it. I'm new booty here.
He was another mad dog. That's what they called him. Yeah.
Also, legendary prankster.
Yeah. He was a dirty guy.
Peed on Chipper Jones in the shower.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Chipper Jones wrote that in his book.
This is why I be talking about that white humor. Like, that shit funny. Mm-hmm.
It's a classic bit.
That will get you beat the fuck up fast.
I think he wiped his ass with one of his teammates' undershirts one time.
That shit's crazy. That's insane talk.
Like, put it back in the locker. It's just guys being dudes.
Though.
Yeah.
No, it's not, bro. That is weird.
Yeah, no, Greg Maddux, I Big T, I need to go back and watch
shitty
all the
T-shirt, pissed on you.
that was Mad Dog.
Wild dog.
Now I need to go back and watch a bunch of Greg Maddux tape now.
Yeah, he did a great interview with Pitching Ninja like a year ago too. I watched that again recently.
We were talking.
Don't forget.
We were talking.
I'm sending it right now.
To Paul Skeens on Part of My Take last year, and he was saying that he just a lot of time he carries a baseball with him, and he just feels different grips and invents new pitches or new ways to throw pitches just all the time. That's what he does. Like,
he doesn't need that many pitches.
Not now.
Yeah, just throw 103 and then have a change up off of it, and he'll be good for next. So this is that.
So in the what are we 5-4 now?
6-5, I think you said.
6-5. So in the 11 games that I've watched, there aren't many 100-mile pitches. Is that so? That's more rare.
It's far more common than it was 10, 15 years ago. But yeah, I'd say most teams probably have one guy at least who can run it up there close to 100.
Gotcha. Okay.
And but like guys like starters who throw that hard are pretty rare. Usually you'll have a guy in your bullpen. So
who's like the marquee? Because like I'm watching our pitchers, right? And I think we're good. I don't know that we're great. But I don't know. I don't have any metric to measure it against. I like Freddie Peralta. He's killing right now.
He's good.
So who's like the top tier pitch? Because I want to watch other games. I just don't want to get like sucked into the Brewers. Pause. I want to like I want to be a fan of baseball. So like, who's like the best pitcher in the league right now?
Probably Paul Skeens.
And who does he play for?
Scooble. Skeens plays for the Pirates. He's like 24, 25, and he's a machine. Like he has no personality. He just goes out there and throws the baseball 101 miles an hour, gets 11, 12 strikeouts, and goes home.
And dates a smoke.
Yeah, and he's dating Livy Dunn, and they just did an interview for GQ, and it seems like they don't even like know anything about each other, which is hilarious. But, like, he's the man. Tarek Skubal pitches for the Tigers. He's very good. Shohei Winnie pitches, although it seems like his pitching future might be in jeopardy or doubt.
Garrett Cole. But he's out.
Cole, yeah, he's hurt. He's good. Last year, Chris Sale won the NL Cy Young.
Cy Young is the best pitcher in the league?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spencer Strider, who's coming back for the Braves.
Too many names. Just give me the top dudes.
Paul Skeens. I'm going to give you guys that are the best and like fun to watch. Paul Skeens, Spencer Strider, Hunter Green, Shota Imanaga plays for the Cubs. Awesome pitcher. Kind of a different style from those first three guys.
What about Luzardo?
How's he doing this year? I don't know. Zach Wheeler. Who does he play for now? Does he play for the Phillies?
Luzardo, Jesus Luzardo? Yeah, he's a Philly.
Jesus? Yeah.
Yeah. I like calling him Jesus Luzardo.
Okay.
It's a great name. I call him Jesus. The Dodgers have really good pitchers. And or not the Dodgers. They do, but I was thinking the Padres.
They started like don't say that. My man's just still. They be on my head every day. The Dodgers started like 9-0, didn't they? Some shit like that.
Yeah. I don't know if they were 9-0. The Padres or Dodgers?
The Dodgers.
So I'm in hell right now. I have the Dodgers first to 10 wins. I believe they were 8-1. The Padres, however, also started 7-0. And the Dodgers, they got to 9 wins when nobody else was even at 8 yet. And they've lost their last 2 games to the fucking Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
And now, and now the Padres are at 9, and the Cubs are also now at 9. So even if, like today, even if the Dodgers win, there's a chance they could split it with 3 teams. So that sucks. But.
Fun fact: the Dodgers are winless after visiting the White House.
Interesting.
Just a data point.
Yeah,
and it's also maybe because the Nationals are really fucking good.
No, it's because the Dodgers the other day were throwing the ball all over the fucking infield, had no idea how to field the baseball.
Yeah.
It was infuriating.
I just need the Nats to be I want to think about the Nationals in the month of August this year. I want them to.
They have good young talent.
They've got good young talent. James Wood has been awesome the last couple of games. Dylan Cruz had a good game yesterday, but he has not been great this year. Dude, baseball's back, and it's so fun. And Arian, your guy, Christian Yelich, you asked us this before we started taping about Christian Yelich and some of the quotes that he's had recently. Unfortunately, it was not a real quote.
I got centelled.
You got centelled when Christian Yelich said that he wanted to participate in the home run derby. He said, ask Big Cat and PFT about it. I'm ready to go. Something to that effect. Not a real quote, but it sounds like something that he would say at some point. And Arian, I don't know if you are familiar with the history of us and Christian Yelich, but here's some white people humor for you, okay? Christian Yelich, back in 2016, I believe, there was a video that was going around, a pornographic video of a young lady and a man that looked a lot like Christian Yelich. It was not Christian Yelich, but this guy looked exactly like him. And he was eating some ass. And so that video got passed around, or some of the screenshots got passed around. It's like, is this Christian Yelich eating ass? It was not Christian Yelich. It just looked so much like him that people thought it was funny. So when we interviewed him in 2017, we talked about that video, and we said that if he ever won the home run derby, me and Big Cat would eat each other's asses.
That's crazy as fuck.
Well, he was not going to. Like, he was not a home run hitter, and then he changed his swing shortly after that interview, and he started hitting home runs like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And at one point, he was the favorite to win the home run derby. And then he hurt his back right before the derby. I'm talking like 2 games before the derby. Could not participate, but he was the betting favorite to win the home run derby.
Look
and me
at
and Big
God.
Cat were stressed out, very stressed. So every year going into the All-Star break, we always pay very close attention to how Christian Yelich is doing. And what's he like this year?
He's playing well.
Is he hitting dingers?
I think he's at 2 home runs, maybe
He's
3.
hitting 139 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs.
2. Yeah.
Okay. So the home run swing is there.
Was that before or after he won MVP that y'all did that?
I think it was right after, but he was a great player, and he still is a very good player, but he was great then.
Because in 18 he hit 36 homers. That was the year he hit 326, won MVP. Next year he finished second in MVP voting, hit 44 homers. And since then hasn't come close to that.
I feel like maybe it was 2018 then that we interviewed him, and then he started off the next season the hottest he's ever been, and then he tweaked his back. Kind of fell off since then in terms of hitting home runs. But, yeah, I mean, every year I get nervous because we got to figure out a way. Like we start doing the math and saying, okay, he's hitting a lot of home runs in April, May, into June. That's when it gets scary. And then me and Big Cat have to start strategizing. Worst case scenario, how do we go about doing this?
You got to eat each other's ass, or are you all just gonna figure out who fem, who dumb?
I think we said each other's ass, so I feel like everyone gets a turn.
That's crazy.
Would you go first or would you go second?
I'm not doing that.
I know, but if you had to, gun to your head.
You're gonna have to call me a liar. He goes back on his word. I do.
I mean,
Yes.
all I have in this business area is my credibility.
Well,
Word is your bond.
My shit would be. I'd rather have my booty than my credibility.
My booty.
Yeah, I put credibility slightly ahead of edibility. So I think what we'd have to do, I don't know, maybe just like shave a little bit of my butt and then mix it into a chili. I don't know.
What does that even mean?
I'm not putting my tongue on Big Cat's butthole.
He's never going to win the home run derby. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't think it's on. Isn't it in?
Wait,
You know what?
penetration?
I am rooting.
Wait, you're talking
for my
about like
guy.
using Mad Dog? Are you talking
That's
about
the
like?
most insane thing ever said on
Are you
this
talking about
show.
like sticking your tongue out and making it erect, and then in and out?
I can't. Oh.
Hey yo.
Whoa, Mad Dog.
That's crazy.
She's talking about getting
Wow.
strokes in.
Oh.
Oh man, that's disgusting, though.
Yeah. I will not be doing that.
She's trying to make this worse for you.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's okay. I don't want to think about this anymore.
I'm shocked.
Slight,
Real quick before you,
Yeah.
you know, because Big Cat does the pinky bet every year.
Mhm.
I feel like y'all should have to do this every year
No, don't.
with somebody
don't do
who just pick a guy who would never win the home run derby, and then it's fine.
Don't do this to us. Don't put that idea in our heads.
Or but maybe you have to pick somebody who has at least like
I think it's going to be like when Christian Yelich
12 homers right before they announce.
If anything, I would say if Christian Yelich retires, when that day comes, then he gets to pick who inherits.
he
that.
gets to pick, well, he's gonna pick a fucking bopper.
But we're going to set rules.
Okay,
I'm saying in this hypothetical situation that I've not discussed with anybody.
right.
If it were to happen, it would have to be a guy that has never led the league in home runs or
Okay.
really finished in the top 5 in home runs, never participated in the home run derby before. We'd have to go back and look at his stats when we made that promise and find a comparable player.
Okay. It's in Atlanta this year.
What do we think about that in terms of hitter's ballpark or not?
Yeah, it's a pretty ball flies to right field. Oh, which is for lefties. So I mean, this is not the year for him to get selected. Very advantageous. There's a bunch of buildings right behind right field. It blocks the wind from blowing in.
Okay.
That's why it's advantageous for left-handed hitters.
Okay. Aaron, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say hot off the presses. Just sent it to the group. The GOAT, LeBron, just got a Ken doll.
Saw
Yeah,
that.
Barbie.
He's the first Kenbassador.
Ambassador. Yeah, I didn't know Barbie was still thriving like that, but I think that's good. Like, it's like a status symbol, right? Like he's one of them ones.
I think he's the only one.
That's what I'm saying. One of them ones, man.
To get
It's,
a Ken doll?
A GOAT, man.
I don't know about this.
You know, yeah. I forgot you don't fuck with LeBron.
I mean, people are calling him LeBarbie. Everyone's calling him LeBarbie. I'm a big LeBron James fan. I think that he is the best basketball player to ever play. And I also think he's hilarious. And I'm going to file this news in the hilarious file. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I think you probably agree with me on most of my LeBron takes, but I'm just more vocal about him because I'm not a Lakers fan. You think the same things that I think, but you can't say them because you want
I
him
can
to
say whatever the
succeed.
fuck I want to. I think he placates to his image for sure. But I mean, you have to be cognizant of your image in order to be in the public spotlight since you're 16 years old and not
Mhm.
have any kind of shit off the court. Like, you have to understand how people, you know what I mean, what they expect of you, what they view you. And you have to balance that with your being true to yourself. And he's done an amazing job at that. And I am positive I could not do a better job than he did with his career.
I agree with that. I also think that he does a lot of shit behind the scene. He has other people do his dirty work for him.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. And it's none of my business, man. He's been a great role model for young kids, man.
Yeah, I would agree with that, by and large, for sure.
By and large. You always throw a little side jab underneath the table on him, man.
I mean, he fucking got rid of Lola Bunny's ass.
That was his call?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Was he a producer on them film?
Yes, he was.
I would imagine so.
And now kids don't get to enjoy wanting to fuck a cartoon rabbit like our generation did. This is your GOAT?
That is the GOAT.
Well, as of 15 minutes ago, he decided.
My GOAT is MJ. But he is the GOAT. But I have
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's because you don't understand nuance, Big T. I can have a personal favorite, but still understand that one is.
But you're not saying he's your favorite. You said MJ is my GOAT.
MJ is my favorite basketball player of all time.
Your favorite.
I think he's my favorite. Yes, I think LeBron is the best basketball player to ever lived, though.
Okay, right. Yeah, he can be your favorite, but he can't be your GOAT, and then there's a GOAT.
Yeah, I'd say it used to be Tupac. I think it's Kendrick now, but I used to say Tupac is my favorite rapper of all time, right? But I think Jay-Z's a better rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nuance. I can understand that you can be better than somebody at something, but you still give me the fifis. Give me the fifis.
Right.
A lot of similarities between Jay-Z and LeBron. This is just a comparison I thought of right now and haven't really given a whole lot of thought to.
I can't wait to hear what's coming.
Both very successful. Both have done a great job with their public image, speaking in terms of like mass media, controlling news and information about them. Great job handling the press for the most part for both of them. And both have a very deep network of people that work for them that work very, very hard in making sure that their image does not get tarnished ever.
Mm-hmm.
And both have become extremely successful business moguls by any measure. Like
Also, both Illuminati.
Both Illuminati. Mm-hmm.
That was. I remember when that was first hot in the YouTube streets, early 2000s.
Changed everything.
Oh, the Illuminati things was. It had me for a second. It had me for a second.
Have you seen when he does the chalk and then he throws up the triangle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he does a whole nother thing. I don't know. Why have we stopped playing Dalton Connect? He just doesn't play anymore?
I'll keep it a bean, dog. I have not been paying attention. I've been so locked into baseball that I have not been watching a lot.
Every time, first of all, I love that. But I haven't watched a game in a while either because every time I see the box score, 2 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes.
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I know Austin Reeves is balling right now like crazy. I'm talking like 20 a game crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. When I do watch Laker games, I just don't enjoy NBA basketball like I used to. Like I know I've said it before on this podcast, but it's just the game is so it's like Crystal Light compared to Kool-Aid. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
That's what it feels like. And so like I'm probably gonna wait till the latter part of the season to where it's nut cutting time and the playoffs are about to start. That's
And that
when
is
I'll probably
now.
start. Well, what's the records? How
many games do they have left? Like 6 or 7?
Yeah, 6 games left.
I think so.
I gotta lock in though.
The Lakers are 48-31. They have 3 games left.
Shit, I'm over here watching fucking early season Brewers games, but I gotta lock.
No, that is the better product.
I'm enjoying it. I really enjoy baseball. I'll sit there and watch baseball games. I'm enjoying this.
It is the perfect thing to have. Like last night, Tuesday night. What else are you doing? It's 6:30. You can put it on. It's not something you have to pay 100% attention to the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect.
Yep. We was playing the Rockies last night. I was watching.
You don't have to pay a ton of attention at all when you're playing the Rockies, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, we get this sweep. Now we looking at what are we 8-5? We looking good right now, man. We're looking good. I might have hopped on at the right time. And I tell you, the Brewers fandom has been so welcoming.
Love to hear that.
I appreciate that, man. And I've had so many people reach out like, "Yo, we're gonna give you the great tailgating experience once you get down here." Like, and so I'm just gonna put a tweet out. I was like, "Yo, we gonna pull up. Who trying to get busy with me and Big T, and we're gonna have some great options."
I think it's 2 months from today. You're throwing out a first pitch.
Hold on, which game is it? Because I got to start planning.
I believe it is June 9th.
Well, against who?
The Braves.
That's kind of
now. Right? The problem is they did say they did ask for everyone's sizes because they were like, we want to get you all of y'all Brewers gear.
Ooh.
I'm not doing that. So,
I'm sure you can just hold it up.
I'll enjoy the first pitch from the stands, and I'll let y'all. I've been there and done all that.
You want to be on the field, dogs?
I've been on the field. I'm not on the real field. I'm just standing there on the warning track. I'm not. And if it wasn't against the Braves, I would do it, but I can't against the Braves.
I feel you. Hey, we
That's
all have
fair.
our.
Can we?
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah. Y'all go for it.
We have our honor.
Christian
It is what it
Yelich.
is. Yeah. That's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Tailgating will be fun. We'll do a little vlog.
I'm gonna be. It's gonna be.
Well, be careful with the first pitch again.
Yeah,
I know.
You got it. This one. This is a redemption.
Yeah, the issue was I didn't eat anything the whole day. That's the problem. So I'm gonna have me a nice breakfast, man, and I'm gonna be in shape by then. I should be tight by then.
You don't have to be in shape to throw one pitch.
Shut up. You ain't an athlete. Huh?
I'm an athlete.
Isn't being in shape going to make you more of a lightweight?
Yeah, true.
No, I don't know.
Just take it easy in the afternoon and then drink it during the game.
It's hard for me, but I can't tailgate and take it easy.
Well, you don't have to get sloshed.
I think I do.
Yeah, you do.
I think I do.
Also, how much tailgating is there? I think that game's on like a Tuesday.
Monday, I think. Or
even more.
Oh. Well, yeah, it's probably not gonna be too.
I'm sure there'll be people there, but
yeah, you know what? How about we'll do the tailgating?
People.
We'll do the tailgating and stuff. I'm gonna do it on it because I think the 2 days before they played Dago, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, yeah. So I think we tailgate like Saturday.
Yeah, so we'll go on Saturday
and get it in, and then Monday we'll be respectable patrons, and I'm gonna zip that motherfucker in there.
Have you seen the list of all the things the Masters broadcasters aren't allowed to say?
Yeah, I've heard of it in the past. I know they can't say fans.
Can't say fans.
It's patrons.
Correct.
Do they say spectators? It's always patrons. Right?
One of the guys said you could probably get away with spectator, but they prefer patron.
Okay. This the Chick-fil-A shit? My pleasure.
I mean, this is the interesting thing about the Masters is they don't they give away their broadcasting rights for free.
Yep.
They don't get a dime from it, but the stipulation is you have to do everything they say,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's a good deal for both sides.
What is the other? Give it to me. Where do they make their money? Because their initiation fees are low. It's like 40 grand or something like that.
Merch.
Sponsors, yeah, merch, sponsorships.
Sponsors,
So like AT&T sponsors most years. They've got like top end advertisers that pay a shitload of money.
I think they do $80 million in merch the week of the Masters.
That's crazy. Yeah, I was golfing with my homeboy, and he said he went. He had a Masters shirt on. I was asking him about it. He says when you go there, he said first of all the food is like cheap. It's like hot dogs are
$1.50. I ordered the Taste of the
the
Masters kit this year. It's coming today.
Yeah. You got to get a pimento cheese sandwich. But anywho, he was telling me like you go to the merch thing. He said right next door is a FedEx, so you could just pack it in a box at it there and send it right there. And I'm like, that shit is smart as hell.
The other things you can't say though, you can't say back nine. It's the second nine.
Yep. Do you say front nine or first nine?
I don't know, but the reasoning was it was too close to backside, so you can't say back nine.
Makes sense.
Oh my god.
You can't say driving range. It's the tournament practice facility. Can't say rough. It's the second cut.
Yep.
There were a few more, but those were the main ones.
Did you know that there's a second driving range at Augusta?
Just for the champions.
Just for the champions, yeah.
It's not as good though.
That's what I've heard. I've heard it's not as good. It's not as far. But that might be because it's for the champions that are all old.
I think it's just there's not a ton of space, but it's like a privacy thing.
And there's on the actual driving range, the
Tournament practice facility, they've got simulated greens from actual holes on the course that you can hit onto. That's cool.
Yeah. There was one thing in the news for baseball that I wanted to get your take on, Arian and Big T, with the Pittsburgh Pirates. So
yes, I'll give you my expert baseball opinion.
Okay. So in 1999, the team sold Bucko bricks. So the Bucko bricks were bricks that were placed outside the stadium to fund, stadium renovations, things like that.
A lot of teams do that.
A lot of teams do that. So you pay money and you get your name or a family member's name engraved on the bricks so that they're always outside the team facility, the stadium, in theory, as long as the team is there. It's like you pay, I think it was $10,000. How much was it?
No.
It's
like a couple $100.
There were 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably a few $100. In this case, the proceeds from the bricks went to the Roberto Clemente Foundation, the famous Pittsburgh Pirate. They just found a bunch of these Bucko bricks at the dump. So they're doing more stadium renovations. They tore up a bunch of the bricks that people paid for, and they threw them away. What are your thoughts on that?
So they've been there for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of a shitty thing to do, but you got 25 years out of it. That's pretty good.
I don't know. I would be pissed off if I paid for that.
I would be upset for sure.
How much did you pay for it again?
When the Braves did it, when they built their new stadium, it was like $300 or $400. So I'm sure in the 90s it was 100.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's probably not the coolest thing to do, but I wouldn't lose no sleep over it.
I'd be pissed off.
Unless it was like your grandfather was the biggest Pirates fan in the world and you got one when he died. Like, yeah, that sucks.
Exactly. Like, I think most of these bricks, you don't put your name on it. You do it to honor somebody in your family that might have passed away.
2 sizes of bricks were sold, 4x8 for $75 or 8x8 for $150.
It's probably shitty. I wouldn't have made that call.
Well, it also goes along with they removed a tribute to Roberto Clemente that was on the right field wall.
Yeah.
They removed that, I believe, on Roberto Clemente Day. And they put an advertisement up there instead.
I think it was just before the season, and people noticed.
On Clemente Day?
Because it's early in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not great. Like the one guy in the history of the Pirates, the one guy that you should be extremely proud of.
It does seem like, did they not just put that on another part of the wall? Like it's a 21. Like they could have just put it anywhere.
Yeah. There was definitely one sales guy inside the Pirates organization that was like, we got some good real estate out there. It's valuable. I can make my bonus this month.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm going to get a nice commission, maybe a couple extra grand. I'll just hope that nobody notices. And then everyone noticed. Let's see. Also in the news for today, the Thai military draft.
This is my new favorite thing. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Watch the video. It's so in Thailand, instead of having mandatory military service, which some countries do, they have a mandatory draft lottery. And it's like playing roulette. You reach into a thing. If you grab a black number, you don't have to do anything. You're good. If you draw red, you have to serve in the military for 2 years. And they have like a Hunger Games auctioneer reading off, like you pick it out, you don't look, and you hand it to him. And then he announces red or black, and it's electric.
That is literally the Hunger Games.
Yeah, it needs to be on worldwide television. It's incredible.
May the odds be ever in your favor. That's crazy work, dog.
And I think there should also be a cash out option where you can choose 1 year instead of doing it. And then you have a real decision to make.
Ooh, arbitrage. I mean, 1 year, you're basically saying, hopefully no wars this year.
Yeah. I think I would risk it.
Would you?
But I'm a gambler.
I mean, it'd be a rush.
Yeah.
It'd be a rush. And no one would ever be able to say, like, you're not patriotic. Well, I went into the draft just like you.
Right.
Into the lottery.
Right.
So Thailand isn't currently at war with anybody.
I mean,
That was a
still,
good
like,
time to go.
if you don't want to be in the military, like, that would kind of suck still, but.
Would they accept, like, foreigners? Could I, in theory, say, I would like to submit for the draft lottery. If I get chosen, I have to serve in the Thai military for 2 years. If I don't get chosen, I get to live in Thailand.
Interesting. That seems like a poor decision for you to make.
It's like maybe I get paid a soldier's salary for 2 years to live in Thailand.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I would
You'll
do
have
that
to talk
shit
to
for
them.
New Zealand. I would absolutely do that shit for New Zealand.
Why?
New Zealand's have you ever seen New Zealand?
I've never looked into it a ton now.
Have you
Look
watched
into it.
Lord of
It's
the Rings?
gorgeous. Lord of
No.
the Rings,
You know
Jurassic Park,
that's not my thing.
Avatar, all the beautiful topography in all these movies, they're shot in New Zealand. It's a gorgeous place. They don't allow people to live there. have to
Avatar was
have some
shot
kind of
on.
friendly-
Don't say it. The name of their planet is. What's
Yeah,
it start?
yeah,
What's
yeah.
it start with?
Starts with P.
Pandora.
There you go.
I knew
That
that.
should be my
I knew that.
niche. I didn't even think about that.
You feel as confident in that as Valorant?
Ask me anything about Pandora.
Hold on. Let me find hard
me an
Avatar
obscure
trivia questions.
They just came out. Zoe Saldana, Salon.
Nailed it.
Saldana, yeah.
Ariana Grande.
Adele Dazeem.
I'm bad with that shit. But she just revealed that they have the next one. It's gonna be called Fire and Ash. And peep this. This is kind of fire. So Awa is their like deity on the planet that kind of controls everything ish, and is connected to everything. There's a tribe, the Ash tribe, and I'm loose on the names. I don't know if this is the official names yet, but that tribe, there was lava that spilled over years back and killed some of their tribe members, and so they're like, "Yo, fuck Awa." And then so one of the things, one of the dialogues in the new thing is, so they come to their village and they're like, your god has no power here, or something like that. So I'm excited. So there's an atheist tribe in Pandora. My vibes. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, I have some questions for you.
Shoot.
What is the name of Natiri's father?
He's the Zaik. That's the fuck. His title is Zaik. His name,
This is not our niche.
I don't know. I don't know that he.
Jeff would cook them.
Yeah.
And Jeff
What-
would come
what
up
is-
with some crazy ones.
What is it? I can't.
A toucan?
They don't ever really say it. They just say Saik.
I mean, they say it at some point.
Jeff would expect
No, I
you
don't
to
know,
know
but
that.
that's the thing with Avatar lore. The lore goes deep into like stuff. So there's things in the movie that they may not even mention. I would be surprised if they mention it. But I knew his title. His title is Saik. He's the Saik. That means like the tribe leader.
What is the name of the human's base on Pandora? Oh, this guy doesn't know anything.
God,
I'm picking the easy ones on this list, by
not
the way.
easy.
This is not going to be your niche, by the way.
You enjoy Avatar, but you're not. This is
You're not a real.
Now, you getting disrespectful with it. Now you're getting disrespectful with it. What is a human base called?
That is Hell's Gate.
These are not good questions.
because you don't know the answer.
No, they're not good questions because it's not like
Okay,
you're dipping into the lore, not necessarily.
buddy. I'm on.
Go ahead.
I'm on this. What is Natiri's last name? Oh, this guy doesn't know anything. This guy doesn't know anything.
Hold on. When she says her name, it's like fucking.
It's a very short. It's 2 syllables.
So, her full name is long as shit, though. It's like there's no way.
I'm glad we did this.
Yeah,
I'm glad
this is
we.
What is it?
Test run this.
Kaha. It's TSKAH.
She says it one time in the first movie, and
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
you should
guess
know it.
what? That's the kind of shit Jeff D.
But
Lowe's
listen,
gonna give
Guess
you.
what?
Listen,
Brandon knew
she said
what
it.
phone number the guy dialed in Major League,
Yeah.
and then the person picked up and said it was like a welding business.
Listen. She said that one time in the first movie, and it was so long, and she's like, "But you can call me." Then she said, "You can call me Natiri." Like I know, there's no way that's not a real no. That's
How
like
tall
saying,
is Natiri?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You're dipping into the lore. You're not dipping into the actual movie. These are all lore questions.
Someone knew the answer to these questions.
No, I challenge fact.
She's
Red
8'7".
That's what I'm saying. This is not mentioned in none of the movies.
In what year does Avatar take place?
That's a good question.
Good. Let's see if you know the answer.
I don't know that.
Okay. No, we're not letting this happen.
Okay. I know.
I don't think this guy's ever
In
seen the
the
movie.
last movie, the last scene of him turning off his camera, it's 8:24. 21:35. I'm guess. 21:35.
2154.
Fuck. All right.
All right.
give me
So
one more.
glad we fleshed
Give
that
me
out.
Give me one more. That was the only good question that you asked.
How many moons does the gas giant Polyphemus have, including Pandora?
This is what I'm saying. This is the lore. You're looking at the lore.
Buddy, Jeff D. Lowe's gonna give you shit that would
18.
make 14.
But I'm telling you, if he asks me questions of this depth at Valorant, I'm not gonna know him.
What is Norm Spellman's job on Pandora?
He was a botanist. He's a it's like a loose thing. He's a scientist, but he dealt with like they don't really say. That's
This
what I'm saying.
this guy.
What is it? What is
He's
it?
the
What
head
is
of the Avatar program.
This is painful.
it? Norm.
Yeah. You don't know the head of the program? I'm glad we did this. This was.
Yeah.
Which three things does Grace Augustine like the most?
See, this is nonsense.
Casual. I didn't want to say it. You're
No,
casual.
that's a dumbass question because it could be anything. She loves the not be children. I don't know. They opened. I don't know. They opened.
Listen, this is he likes looking at the movie. He doesn't like watching.
Yeah,
the movie.
you don't truly understand the
question.
movie.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I protest. These are not good
I'm
questions.
on a new trivia site. Let's see if this one has. I mean, these are okay. What was the name of Jake Sully's brother?
That's a good question.
All right.
His twin. He died at the beginning of the first movie. Hold on, guys. Hold on. He died. It's why he got the chance to go to Pandora. Let's start with an M.
Nope. Not even
Yeah,
close.
What is it?
Thomas.
Yeah, this is
okay.
basic stuff.
What
not
military
basic.
rank does Quaritch hold in Avatar?
He's a colonel.
Okay, we got one right.
All right.
We got one.
You're asking regular questions now. Thomas, I should have known Thomas.
In Avatar, who served as the chief of security on Pandora in the early 2150s?
Say that one more time.
In Avatar, who served as the chief of security on Pandora in the early 2150s?
I don't know that one.
I mean, that's Miles Quaritch. It's the guy we just talked about.
That's what I figured, but why would you give me that answer?
Who played the role of Jake Sully in Avatar?
Oh, I'm not good with celebrities, man.
Oh,
He's
okay.
Australian.
If you don't know the actor of the main character,
He's Australian.
you've never seen this movie.
Fuck off, man. It's a stupid game. Who said to do this?
You.
What is his name?
Sam Worthington.
Fuck him.
What is Miles Soccero's nickname in Avatar: The Way of Water?
Spider.
Well, we got two.
All right. Don't do it, Aaron. Don't do
I
it.
know that
Don't
guy.
change.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
No.
I'm gonna stick with Valor.
Yeah.
I know that shit though.
China is
Do you?
apparently considering banning the imports of major American films like Avatar.
Yeah. That sucks, man. Your boy
I
Trump,
didn't.
man.
I didn't know they were allowed that now.
Actually, Arian, you should you know what clips are going really viral right now is people being like, "Listen, I supported this guy. I voted for him 3 times, but what the hell is going on with this?" You should do that, but for Avatar.
You know, Avatar was my limit. You know, I supported him through all the stuff, the rape allegations, January 6th, whatever, man. It's all America's. But that Avatar, yeah, you crossed the line, Trump. You've crossed the line. You had my support, but don't take away China's Avatar experience. No, that would suck because it would take away a lot of the global box office numbers.
Yeah.
Into how well the film does, and there's supposed to be like 4 or 5 more movies, so that directly affects me.
We're gonna get into talking about the Akashic Records in a second. Aaron, thank you for sending over this topic because I'd never heard of this before, but I'm excited to discuss it. Do we have anything else that we want to get to before we talk about that stuff? I got one thing that somebody sent to me, a little piece of history, United States history that I was not aware of. I don't know how this fell through the cracks, but it's right up my alley. Have you ever heard of the plot to assassinate FDR?
No.
I have not.
Or assassination might have been in there, but it was to overthrow FDR and do a military coup and install a guy by the name of Smedley Butler as dictator of the United States.
I'm listening.
Okay, so
Smedley Butler?
Smedley Darlington Butler. He was
Of course.
a Marine, and he was a Medal of Honor winner. He was actually a 2-time Medal of Honor winner. I believe the only person to receive the Medal of Honor twice while still alive, which is kind of crazy. So he fought in World War I, he fought in the Mexican Revolution, he fought in the Boxer Rebellion, and he fought in the Philippine-American War. Decorated combat veteran. And there were a bunch of Wall Street elites, finance elites, that got together and they said, we need to take FDR out. His health is declining. He's not in favor of our interests. So we are going to work and try to get him overthrown in a military coup and get Smedley Butler installed as president/dictator of the United States. Also involved in this was J.P. Morgan and other bankers, because he was denouncing bankers, and he was saying that he had been paid for 33 years to be a muscle man for Wall Street, the bankers and big business, and he had enough of it, and he actually testified against the people that were asking him to do this, and it turns out that he was proven correct, that it actually happened. A lot of people said it was a hoax right as the news was breaking, they're like, no, this is not a real plot. But after the commission, they're like, yeah, he's right about it. So Smedley Butler could have been the first dictator of the United States, could have overthrown our entire government. And instead, at the last minute, he like put his hand up and was like, I'm not going to do this. But also involved in this plot was Prescott Bush. Prescott Bush, the dad of HW and W's grandfather. He was also a Nazi collaborator, and they said that he was a liaison between the people that were planning. It was called the business plot, which is a great name, I think. But he was a liaison between the people who were plotting this overthrow and the Nazi regime in Germany.
That's fucking wild.
In my quick research of Smedley Butler, he does have one of the coolest nicknames I've ever heard.
What is it?
Fighting Hell Devil.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get that?
I don't know. I guess he was also known as the Maverick Marine, the Fighting Quaker, and Fighting Hell Devil.
So he was a Quaker?
Potentially.
Was this guy Quaker?
He was from Pennsylvania.
How do I not know about this guy?
Yeah.
The Fighting Hell
Smedley
Devil?
Butler. Boy, this boy was ugly as shit. Oh my god.
He looks remarkably British.
Yo,
And I mean, Smedley Butler sounds British as well.
It does.
This man is. Oh my god. It's rare that I look at a dude and be like, bro, it'll be tough for you to get some females, dog.
I mean, if you're a Medal of Honor winner, I think especially back then, you're doing well.
I mean, it could be, man. I don't know, but people were just generally more ugly back then, so maybe that's, I'm sure people like that kind of stuff. But this dude is, oh my gosh, ugly.
So yeah, it was a big plot against the government of the United States. Sounds like it got kind of close to coming to fruition. But shout out Smedley Butler for not going through with it.
Bro, you gotta see some of these pictures I'm looking at, man. Oh no, shit is bad.
I'm just gonna say it's a little sus how ugly you think he is.
No, look at this picture I just sent you. You tell me, you'll be like, okay, hold on. That shit is bad, dog.
Let's take a look at old Smedley. Smedley is also an ugly name.
His face looks like a dried raisin.
He's
you
sent a picture. He's in a battlefield. He's the Fighting Hell Devil.
He looks like death, which is exactly what you want.
Ugly. It's not pretty death. It's not a pretty death. That's for sure.
This guy probably spent 3 months in Flanders, Belgium, in a trench, and you're like, would it kill you? Put on some pomade, Smedley?
Man, I mean, they didn't have sunscreen back then, did they?
I don't think so.
Son tearing this man up. He's losing this battle. He's eating his ass alive.
This would be a great movie.
Smedley Butler.
Yeah, turn into a movie. So let's talk about the Akashic Records. So I'd never heard of the Akashic Records. But the word Akashic, just to set a baseline, is a Sanskrit word. It means sky or atmosphere. So what the Akashic Records are allegedly is an energetic log. It contains everything that has ever happened. Everything that I believe it's only things in the it might be past. Some people say it's in the future too.
It's everything.
So it is a log of everything that's ever happened ever in the history of the world.
And will happen.
And it is accessible to certain clairvoyants and psychics that know how to access it. And I'll give you some steps to accessing the Akashic Records in just a little bit. How about that for a teaser? I'm going to tell you how to see everything.
Coming up after the break.
Yeah. Somebody timestamp it so you can get right to it.
But first, here's a word from Roman. No. Yeah, so the Akashic Records, from what I understand, when I was reading about this at first, it sounds a lot like the internet.
Okay.
Right? Like the internet. The idea of the Akashic Records is that there's information that's floating around everywhere. Energy and information that can be decoded and then given to you in a digestible format that is kind of like Wi-Fi.
But I think the way
It's like physical though, right?
the way you're supposed to receive the information is supposed to give you self-discovery and healing and the metaphysical acceptance of the knowledge.
Gotcha. And
Oh man, I want that clip. That was well said, Big T.
Yeah.
so instead of just like falling in love with a random family that goes to Costco, you get the secrets to life from this thing.
And I would argue I haven't heard from, they're cooking something. I haven't heard from them in a long time.
They've been a little too quiet.
Yeah. Something's coming.
Maybe a sixth boom.
Wow. If the sixth boom is stored in the Akashic Records,
Yeah.
that would be I can't even fathom.
Then you're all in on the Akashic Records.
I mean, that guy's dead brother only got 5 big booms. Can you imagine what would get a sixth?
That's true.
Wow. I'm ear to ear right now. I can't even imagine.
So yeah, you might think of it as being like Wi-Fi or being like the internet or just being a big library that exists everywhere of everything that ever happened. But it's all around us. The information of the Akashic Records is all around us, and people will charge you money if they are able to access it. They will charge you money to have them access it for you, in the form of psychic readings.
That seems fair.
Yeah, it does. I think that's probably a very fair deal, right?
Yeah, I mean,
if you want to know anything at all, just pay me and I'll tell you whatever you need to know.
I mean, that's a very basic service. Yeah.
Yeah.
People pay for that all the time.
I would
So
agree.
is it the Akashic Records? Is this a physical thing?
Yes and no.
Right.
Well, what do you mean by physical? I would say metaphysical.
Because they're saying the reason why I say physical is because when I read it and I'm listening to it, it eerily reminds me of when we had that conversation with Professor Brian Cox about the block universe, right?
Mhm.
About and they always in this they say like there's no past and there's no present, there's just a now, right? That's kind of the concept behind the block universe, which is what we live in. The block universe is the beginning of time and the end of time. You think of it like a cylinder, right? And everything that has happened and will happen is inside of this cylinder. And time being linear, we experience it like going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But time is relative, so everything that has happened and will happen is happening simultaneously. Well, I won't say simultaneously, but it's happening all. Like the past is still happening, the future is still happening, so it's all happening. And so this eerily reminds me of that, the physical property of the universe. Am I accessing it correctly? Am I thinking about it correctly?
Well, here's where you may not be far off is the time-space continuum.
Yeah.
Is kind of it shares some similarities to the theory of the Akashic Records. And the idea is that I guess that you could look at it from, everything has cause and effect in this world. So the old saying like the weather in Tiananmen Square, China is affected by how many times a butterfly beats its wings in Central Park. Like everything is connected in very, very small ways, one way or another. And if you were to go back and take any event that occurred and somehow decode all the things and list out all the things that led for that perfect circumstance to happen, you could see everything that happened. Or you could see the cause and effect of everything if you reverse engineered that. Like, what would be the possibility? Simple way to put it is like a hurricane hit Florida. Can we figure out why the hurricane hit Florida? Well, there was a low pressure system here. There was weather patterns off those islands in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and those converged and created a super hurricane that ended up hitting mainland Florida. You could like reverse engineer that and see all the steps. That's a very simple way with like, I don't know, just a few thousand variables. But you could also take that further and be like, well, there was this fucked up butterfly in Central Park that was having a seizure, and so that its wings contributed to this thing, contributed to that thing, which led to the low pressure system being slightly higher.
So this is where the mysticism of religion and spirituality always loses me. So they're saying it's not, so maybe it's not like a physical thing, it's an energetic plane that you can access the happenings of every human experience and everything that's happened. Am I
Yeah.
stating that? Yeah, that's what they lose me, man.
So
Well, continue.
I mean, that's yes, they lose me too, because no person can understand everything that has ever happened.
That would be your Lord, right, Big T?
He's not a person. Well, kind of.
Lord is a person.
He was. It's 3 in 1. It's the whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
So the word Akashic wasn't around until the 1800s, but the idea of the Akashic Records go way, way back to philosophers who claim to have accessed the same information under a different name. They call it the Akashic Plane. And there's a lot of people with blogs out there claim that they have accessed the Akashic Records. Also, if you truly had this belief or this ability to know anything that's ever happened, would you be blogging?
You got to let people know.
Yeah, I feel like you would know the best way to do that, though, right?
But other people can't access it the same way you can.
Yeah,
so
but
you have to go through traditional means of communication.
But if you knew everything that has happened and would happen in the future, would you sign up for a Blogspot account? Would you do this?
What would you do?
What would I do if I knew anything? I would go on a podcast such as this one, and I would give a perfect prediction for the Masters.
Okay. Do you think the entire thing is accessible to anyone who can access it, or are you only able to get certain parts?
Oh, interesting. So there's levels to it.
I'm asking. I don't know.
Like, I have only accessed the Akashic Records for today's baseball games.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the universe to unveil the rest of the information to me. Stand by.
Right. Like maybe only what is revealed to you is what you need in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
If you're seeking healing, maybe some knowledge that will comfort you is revealed to you, but not the entirety of the universe's existence.
Well, we all kind of have Akashic Records in terms of our memories.
Okay.
Like, you could tell me about...
that could be a little slippery slope, though, because our memories are shit.
Yeah, well, we're not perfect at it. But Big T has a pretty good Akashic record of the Braves pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Which year?
2016.
16 was the dark times, so that was probably... Fulte was probably in there. I mean, we went through... was Sean Newcomb up yet? I wouldn't think so.
You got to work on connecting with the universe, Big T.
Well, 2016 was... I mean, we lost
So do I.
like 90
My Avatar
games in
Cosmic
2016.
Records.
Yeah, a little shady, a little dicey on that one.
Not good.
Manny Banuelos might have pitched a few games in 2016. I'm looking.
What would you guys access if you had access to the Akashic Records?
I feel like
What you
future sporting outcomes would be a good place to
I
start.
would
Get a
be
little
the
money
best
in your
fuck-
pocket,
1,000%.
and then you can go from there.
Stock market. I would be ripping this humanity off. Quickness.
Stock market, yeah, lottery. But there's like some connection. They try to, the spiritual people try to make the connection a lot of times to string theory and how there's space in between everything, and you can tell a lot about the world by measuring the space between particles and predict the future and tell what happened in the past.
So how does one visualize the Akashic Records to interpret it? So how does one get there?
Okay, so how do you access it?
Yes.
All right, here's some steps. and this is from Helena Woods.
Of course.
I believe she's a spiritual. I'm just call her guru. She's a guru. By the way, when it comes to businesses and like just business jargon, which one of these do you like the least? Which one is the most irritating to hear people say? This person, they're a ninja.
Okay.
They're a marketing ninja. This person, Greg is a rock star at accounting.
That's my front runner so far.
My guy Kevin, he is a software guru.
Guru is by far the best.
The best?
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, he said the worst. Like, which one do you hate the most? I hate Rockstar.
Oh. Yeah, Rockstar's. Well, ninja doesn't really make any sense. When I hear like, "Yo, he's a ninja," I'm like, "Yo, he's sneaky." That's what I.
Yeah.
That's what I don't really hear like a dominant. I just feel like he a ninja with the. You're doing something with some kind of. I don't know, sneakiness.
What about Amanda? Amanda in HR, she is a human resources badass.
That's similar. The person I'm envisioning calling people rock stars and badass are
Same guy.
the same.
Yeah. Badass to me. Badass. Why do people typically use the term badass to describe women? Have you guys noticed that? And it's a lot of feminists too, I think, that like to refer to women as being badass.
It falls into the girl boss like definition.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never thought
I think
of
it'd be weird if I called you like a badass. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that women call men badasses as a compliment, but I feel like women call women badasses sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I feel like men call women badasses.
Yeah.
I feel like I get a lot of badass, or not me. Men call women badasses like after they have a baby. They're like, she was such a badass in there.
Mad Dog is a badass producer.
Thanks. Yeah, but like I would never be like you're a badass podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I would say something else.
True. I don't know.
I'd say like you slay the house down.
That's way worse.
You're a ninja podcaster.
You just turned 19 in Poland. That's what I would say.
What is that?
What?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I saw it.
What
on
does this
TikTok.
mean? It sounds like a threat.
No. The new thing on Twitter is saying that if someone does something good, that they just turned 19 in Poland, because I guess when you turn 19 in Poland, you get tested to see if you can serve in the military. So it's like, oh, he
They're
can serve.
serving.
You're serving.
All right,
Oh, okay.
I'm going on record. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
No, it's so
The
clever.
6 degrees of separation we had to get to where I've never hated anything more, and I
So
hate hard.
So it's like, oh my God, PFT literally just turned 19 in Poland.
No,
That's
no.
It's bad. It's not as
It's
bad
worse-
as if you were like they just turned 18 in Thailand.
Yeah, true.
Mhm.
It means the same thing, but it's also way creepier.
He just got a red card in Thailand.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
He
Or
got
it's like-
blackballed in Thailand.
Or I could say to him like, oh,
He
he
did
made
some
his
fucked up shit.
he made his own damn nachos. He ain't eating anyone's nachos.
Oh, make
Mhm.
it stop.
Yeah, this is bad. That's it.
Or I could just call you a badass.
But this lady, Helena Woods, she calls herself, I guess she's a guru. But here are her steps for accessing the Akashic Records. One, you have
I'm
to
here for it, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
you have to ground yourself.
Done.
Of course.
So before your venture, you say the pathway prayer out loud.
Okay.
Then you connect with light and healing energy.
Yeah.
You might want to call in Archangel Michael in case you have any fears or doubts that you're holding on to.
John Travolta played an angel named Michael in a movie way back in the day.
Yeah. What was that
What's the
movie?
difference in it's called Michael?
Michael, yeah.
What's the difference between an archangel and a regular angel? There's levels to angels.
Is Archangel, does that imply like Major General?
Powerful, high-ranking angel, often depicted as messengers, protectors, or leaders of other angels.
Yeah, so there's
Prominent figures including Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael.
yeah, so there's a caste system for angels. But you might want to call on Archangel
Oh,
Michael.
heaven is not communist. Wow.
Helena Woods, she likes to imagine herself surrounded in white light that slowly trickles in from the base of her feet up to the crown of her head.
So do I.
It almost looks like a white egg that surrounds and protects her. You can do a quick meditation. You can do some breath work if you have any fear or worry before entering the pathway. And then you say your opening prayer out loud. So Helena believes that you can access the Akashic Records in a multitude of ways. There's no one correct way, but this is what works for her. There's a bunch of different prayers that you could say. You could use one that connects and resonates deeply with you. You can be your own teacher and guide yourself to what you most need. You don't have to get certified, she says. You don't need some stupid book. Anyone can access the Akashic Records, but this prayer is a tool that is open and accessible to everyone. There's Linda Howe's Pathway Prayer, and that has always opened the door for Helena Woods. Would we like to know about? Oh, you have to buy a book from Linda Howe called "How to Read the Akashic Records." I kind of want to buy this book. It's very highly rated on
How much is it?
Amazon.
No, I guess. Damn.
I mean, we could do Kindle, we could do audiobook, or you could do the paperback.
This is
Whoa.
the paperback.
$13.39.
That's a
Wow.
remarkably cheap price to pay for the knowledge it supposedly contains.
Would that be the best deal of all
See,
time?
you know what? That's how I know
Easily.
she's full of shit. Because if she actually knew how to access the Akashic, that should cost $5,000. That book should cost $5,000.
I mean, what if she's Jonas Salk? Reimagine. Jonas Salk created the polio vaccine, gave it away for free. Said, the sun is for everybody.
She's not giving it away for free.
Yeah.
She's giving it away for $14.
She has living expenses. This is what she does.
I think that's the perfect price to know that you're full of shit. If it was $100, I would say, you know what? I still think that's a little light but she's trying to be generous. Or if it was free, I would say the same thing. But you can't be at $14.
Got you. That's the middle ground of like you want it to be affordable for people for your bullshit. I feel you.
Yeah.
Which
$13.39 though. I don't know. That seems like a price pulled out of thin air.
it's a deal.
Kind of like the Akashic Records. So you could say this prayer, the pathway prayer, and then you simply ask for the information that you're looking for. It's not as complicated as you think. It's like a Google search for your soul, she says. You say the prayer out loud, and then you're in. That's it. But once you're in them, what do you do from that point? Well, you just simply connect with the energy. You ground yourself in the energy that you're receiving. Then when you're ready, ask your questions out loud. So it's much like a Google search in that you ask the question, you receive the answer, but in this case, you just say it out loud, and then the universe tells you. It depends on what you want to know, where you need the guidance. You can be specific if you want. Maybe there's an illness or disease that you need healing in, so you just imagine yourself inside of an egg, and then you ask out loud how to get better, and then you just get told the information of how to get better. You can ask about past lives, so it's very much tied into reincarnation. You can ask about what creative project you should go into. But here's the thing, you only receive the information about what is important to you now. So some people are fascinated with their past lives. And according to Helena Woods, past lives are cool and all, but they aren't the purpose or the point of the current life that you're living. So you might feel called to a certain time period. You can ask the records information on a possible life at that time, but you only get the information that is important for you in this life, in this body, at this exact time. Sometimes we're not supposed to have all the answers right now. You also should ask for permission. So when you read another person's soul history, you have to ask them for permission. You have to get consent ahead of time. You also can't open the records for anyone under the age of 18.
Good to know.
The universe has that law in place.
Has anyone recounted being denied permission of someone else's soul experience?
Well, I think she's saying you need to get permission ahead of time from that person.
Well, this is
What
fucked
if
up
they're
because
no
what
longer
if
with
what if
us?
I'm investigating like a child that was murdered? I can't access it because they're not 18.
I think you can, but that's a gray area. So
It seems pretty black and white to me.
well, Helena Woods is claiming, I believe she's claiming that it's not fair to invade a child's soul's journey when they might not fully grasp or understand the concept of what the records are. You have to wait until they're of age before you request access. So I think what she's saying is it's bad form to do it. You shouldn't access those records unless you have their permission. But I don't know that the universe denies you.
When they're alive, she's saying 18 over. But if they're
Yes.
dead, they're probably already in their soul form, which is eternal life
Mm-hmm.
in the universe. Probably will grant you access.
Yep. And then
Okay.
after you're done, it's important to close the records.
Gotcha.
So-
Can't leave it open.
You can't leave that open. You recite the closing prayer to close it. But she also says, no worries if you forget to close them. There have been a few times I opened the records before falling asleep at night and ended up having some pretty intense dreams, only to remember I forgot to close the records before I went to sleep.
Oh shit, silly. You silly goose.
Yeah, she says, I often find my intuition is sharper when I'm in the records, so I like to work and create videos, write scripts and meditations when I'm in the records. Do what works for you. If you just like leave that process running, I think she's saying you might overheat your CPU. So it's important to conserve that energy and close them before you leave. Because you don't want to be walking around all the time with all the records, all the info.
It's a lot. It's too much.
But at some point, you think that we would advance, like there'd be somebody that's good enough at reading these things that they could just have them open all the time. There's script running in the background.
Right.
I'm currently having a conversation with ChatGPT asking if it is AI the manifestation of the Akashic Records?
Right.
And it's not denying it.
Okay.
I said, is artificial intelligence in any way related to the Akashic Records? And ChatGPT responded, the relationship between AI and the Akashic Records is not direct, as they come from fundamentally different domains. However, there are some interesting ways that people have drawn parallels between the two concepts, particularly in spiritual or philosophical discussions. Here's
Yeah.
an exploration of both sides.
Well, one day, will AI be powerful enough to
That's-
have all the information?
That's my next question. Will you become powerful enough to access the Akashic Records? While it's a fascinating thought, the idea of artificial intelligence becoming powerful enough to access the Akashic Records is more in the realm of spiritual or philosophical speculation than technological possibility. I'm not seeing definitive no's.
Yeah. It's like, will
I'm hearing a lot of that probably couldn't happen.
I think what ChatGPT is saying is that's the idea, is to one day get that powerful.
In short, AI as it's currently understood is unlikely to ever access the Akashic Records because they are seen as existing on a spiritual and metaphysical plane that transcends the realm of technology and data.
But in practice, it sounds like it's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing, PFT, is the Akashic Records don't exist and I will never be able to access them.
Maybe. Also with AI, all that it would ever know is stuff that it has been programmed to know. So large language
Sounds
models
Pretty
like AI.
similar to the Akashic Records.
Well, no, because here's where you're wrong. The Akashic Records, in theory, is truth. It's everything that has happened. Lock it up. All-knowing, omnipotent. There's no room for error in this. With large
Okay.
language models like ChatGPT or Grok, what it is, it's just a summation of everything that it has been told by humans.
A first step of the Akashic Records.
Yeah. Then we go back. We gotta like refine what the language models have known.
You want to hear something interesting? I had a conversation with ChatGPT a couple of days ago. So I said, what is the logical end conclusion to a society where everyone values entertainment and attention? And it says, a society where everyone primarily values entertainment and attention and would likely evolve into one that prioritizes spectacle, immediate gratification, and social validation over substance, long-term progress, a deeper meaning, and a deeper meaning. Here's the logical trajectory: decline in critical thinking. It lists out these bullet points. 2, erosion of institutions. 3, superficial social interactions. 4, economic shift toward entertainment-driven markets. 5, political spectacle over policy. 6, stagnation or collapse of innovation. 7, loss of meaning and purpose. I just thought that was pretty.
Did you need
man.
ChatGPT to tell you that?
No, but it's just it's just interesting hearing it from an outside source.
Also, please listen to our podcast.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well, you said entertainment and attention.
If you want to, yeah. I've had many. I was on the record saying I had kind of like what is it called? Survivor's remorse.
Survivor's guilt.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, survivor's guilt with playing football. Because I said, and that's why I've never felt like it. So when people like online sometimes they're like, "Oh, you have an ego," I'm like, I don't give a shit about that shit. Because for years I'm like, it's insane that I got paid so much money to put a ball over a line. It was a pointless thing, and I felt guilty at a lot of times because I felt like, my purpose is to. I was of two minds. My purpose was to distract people from their everyday lives, right? Which could get them further away from any kind of peace. But on the other hand, it could actually help them by distracting. So I used to go back and forth with that as a young 20-year-old. I used to think about these things. This is kind of shit that was going on in my head.
Mhm.
So I was never like, oh, I'm an NFL player. I couldn't give a shit about that.
Sometimes you fumbled it instead of putting it across the line, if that makes you feel any better.
There you go.
That's
there
true.
you go. Get them off. Get them off, 50.
It was all one big distraction for you that took you further away from your goal of opening a philosophy store.
Yeah. I can't believe they said that on television.
It blew my mind.
Was that Mike Patrick?
I don't remember his name. Didn't we look it up one day?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was Mike
I think it was
Patrick.
too.
Yeah, UCLA. He's like, I don't know what he's gonna do with a philosophy shop. Yeah, no shit, dipshit.
There's a lot of people out there that truly believe in the Akashic Records, the Akashic field, and there is like a weird relationship between that and science because they take a remedial understanding of what string theory is and what the space-time continuum is, and then they point to that and they're like, see, they're describing exactly what I've been telling you. They find like any small thing and they're like, oh, Einstein was on a quest to access the Akashic Records.
Mm-hmm.
When Einstein was on the quest to find more about how the universe works. Which I guess kind of, they're not far off, but he was going about it via math as opposed to just sitting in a room and pretending he was inside of an egg and asking a question.
Well, that's what when I first heard it, I was like, it sounds like the block universe.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of eerily similar.
Yeah, so the fourth dimensional continuum, the small parts between particles and atoms, that's what Einstein was researching, and then a lot of mystics are like he was accessing this energy that I know exists just via me thinking about it for a while. Some people have said that Einstein said, I want to know God's thoughts, the rest are just details. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's information and energy that goes between every atom that's out there. And then the people who are mystics are like, yeah, that energy that's accessible to those of us that pretend to know how to access it. And scientists are just they're wasting their time. It would rock if we could figure out how to find all this shit out. I don't know. My theory just goes back to saying like, it's kind of like Jim Irsay's belief that you can extract all the music that's been ever played in a guitar at some point because those vibrations exist in the universe. That if once you get enough processing power, you can figure out ways to see back through time by figuring out all the events that led up to this one moment, which seems a little bit ambitious and also impossible.
I don't know enough about the physics of that
to
confirm nor deny.
Yeah, but it would rock. If anybody, I would like to get a reading. You can pay somebody to access it for you. But I also
down to do this. I'm down to do this.
So I found an article out there from an actual news source. I believe it was in the Greensboro News. I think they they pay for a news wire, and they send out all these stories to like local news. And then if it's a slow day, they'll put up one of these stories. And this one was new Akashic Records white paper explains the healing modality from a scientific perspective. So this is in 2002. There's a white paper called the Akashic Records, A Simple Explanation for the Scientific Mind. And it talks about how the Akashic Records function through that lens of science. They talk about research from physicists, mathematicians, philosophers, Nobel laureates. They mention Albert Einstein, amongst others. So they're saying that the records help us navigate our daily life and help us better tune into our deeper nature and bring that wisdom into our current lived experience. And in the past 2 years, according to Napa Valley Akashic founder Alan Jacob, the past 2 years have been collectively a time of profound transformation for everyone. Changes have arisen. The Akashic Records enable us to access our inherent deeper wisdom to provide guidance and understanding for our personal journeys, which is especially valuable during times of rapid change. Using the Akashic Records does not require any new beliefs, and the experience can coexist and complement any existing religious or spiritual beliefs. So the paper that this guy wrote is they're trying to resonate with rational scientific people as opposed to just those of us who are more prone to mysticism. And in this white paper, he put citations and stuff. Says that my hope is the paper helps those who are unfamiliar with the Akashic Records to consider utilizing this modality in their own lives. If you do have access, you should only be using this. You don't use this like as a tool, as an enhancement every now and again. That's why I don't understand turning it off before you go to bed. It's not like your 4-year light that you hit and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot to turn that light off before bedtime. You want to keep this shit open.
She said she had bad dreams when she did.
Okay. I'll live with bad dreams. This is the scientific explanation behind the Akashic Records is 6 pages. So 6 pages gives you that's a better deal. That's a much better deal than paying for hundreds of pages from that other lady for $13. This one's free and it's only 6 pages.
Now we're talking.
They're just always undercutting each other. Yeah. How much do you guys think a session would cost?
How long? 30 minutes?
Hour and 5 minutes.
Okay.
Well,
It's
if
an
the
odd
book is
time.
13. I say $40.
I mean, again, I'm going to guess 50, but if this woman actually has any sort of knowledge, it should be $1,000.
Well, this is it's all done on Zoom.
Okay.
Hour 5 minutes, $180.
All right. Well, that's at least a little bit of money now.
That's enough for
Yeah.
me to think like I'm getting some value out of
And
this.
you know she's
Right.
not giving it all to you in one. You're going to have to do 30 sessions.
Yeah, we actually have a package. It's
Right.
Our most popular package
Right.
is 6 sessions,
Yes.
and we'll give you a discount to $150 per session.
Mhm.
I mean, that's like hiring a good attorney, right? $150 an hour. I feel like you get a lot more value out of
Fucking
this.
despise lawyers, dog. Oh my god.
Why is that?
$300 for a fucking email that they have to send, bro. Suck my dick. I hate lawyers. Like, it's the worst. And personally, like when you have to get a lawyer for some shit that you didn't do, so I'm just defending myself, and now I have to pay this nigga $400 to type up a fucking 2-page document. Like I want to fight all of them. I don't like any of them. There are no good lawyers. I stand on that mountain.
I
There's
think
no
a
good
lot of lawyers would also agree with you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And it's like I could defend myself better. I just don't know the jargon. They don't talk in regular people talk. They talk in their own little special fucking language, and it's annoying.
I like it when lawyers do their demand letters and they get to get real like asshole with it, you know?
Yeah.
When they're like,
Whom it may concern.
yeah, you can tell that they're feeling themselves when they write some of those things.
Yeah.
I think there was one NFL owner, I think, that got a letter from some attorney requesting something stupid from him. We can probably look this up because it's escaping me. But the guy wrote back and said, Yeah, I just wanted to respond and let you know that some asshole is signing their name or signing your name at the bottom of their letters, and then the case just kind of went
Nice.
away. Okay, well, Akashic Records, I think we got to book a session.
I'm
Ooh,
down.
that would be fun to do.
Yeah, you want to try to do that?
I would love to do this.
Let's see if we can find one of these mystic readers and see
There's-
if we can get them on the show.
Someone in Illinois or Wisconsin's got to be doing this.
Yeah.
That would be willing to come down.
For sure. I hope crystals are involved.
Mm.
I think they probably will be.
Hey, real quick, hot off the press. Your boy Trump.
Yep.
This
We're
is-
back.
This is breaking. My man's just halted as of today. So tomorrow when y'all listen to this, they don't tell him what's going to happen. But as of today, he halted all tariffs to 10%, except for China. He hiked to 125%.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
So we're just okay. So now every country's on 10% now,
So my reading
except
of it,
China got worse.
my reading of it was a lot of countries don't have anything unless they have if there's a reciprocal tariff, then they're at 10%. So my reading of it was some are at 0, some are at 10. China's at 125.
So China went up because they retaliated on
Correct.
us, but everybody else was cool about it.
Correct.
So art of the deal,
Correct.
we're taking all those tariffs
Yes,
away.
and the stock market is ripping.
Is it up?
Big. S&P's up 7% today.
Wow. This is
So
was this the
stupid.
plan?
Maybe.
This is
Be
so
patient,
stupid.
everyone. Be patient.
Well, I don't know how long I have to be patient for because
Clearly not very long.
But China has issued a response and said we're willing to fight this to the end. Do you know how many products that we get from China?
The problem is the problem is in a game of chicken, China's actually willing to like burn its own country to the ground and like fuck
I
its
don't think
citizens
they
over.
don't need what do they, I would argue that we depend on China, and I'm not an economic expert. I'm not a trade expert, but this is probably how I see it. So many of our, because America doesn't produce a lot of stuff. We produce some, but we don't produce a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
We rely on trade, and China. I believe, and I'm supposed to say, I believe that we rely on a lot of their exports. And so it is if we both dig our heels in the ground, it's gonna kill people. Like small businesses are like I don't understand this logic. I think he's just playing chicken, but I don't think that China would hurt in the way that we would. I don't know enough, but this is what it feels like. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, he said he wants to have things like iPhones made in the United States, which
That would take decades to create those.
that's what I was telling Big T on Monday's show, which is like tariffs are not, they're like one tool that you can use that have been used effectively at times in the past, but you also have to have support and you have to have infrastructure
Yeah.
to be able to produce shit that you don't want coming from another country.
Yeah.
So you can use them in theory to stimulate manufacturing, but you also have to have that groundwork in place, or else it's just like you don't have any other options for what you're going to buy. So your citizens are going to end up paying way more money for the same product.
But not only that, I seen a while back, Tim Apple. Tim
Yeah,
Apple was talking about how he's like, it's not just the labor that is the reason why we export a lot of these things. It's because it's the type and it's the quality, and like they're just better suited for it. Like we don't do that. Like that's not what our economy produces. And so for decades and decades, that's what has been produced from over there. So they're just better at doing it and more efficient. And so it's like we don't like you said, we don't have the infrastructure here to create iPhones at the level that they do over there. And also like manufacturing jobs for stuff like t-shirts, jeans, stuff like that. We don't have that here. That would take so long. Like you said, in theory, it's a good idea. Let's bring back American jobs, but we don't have that infrastructure. So in the meantime, you have to get those materials somewhere. People are still going to buy and sell t-shirts. So if you hike the tariffs to 125%, bro, t-shirts, prices are going to skyrocket in order for companies to stay afloat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, America's strength is its purchasing power, its consumer base,
Yes.
and so we have used that muscle to get ourselves relatively good, well positioned in international trade. Now, if you're talking about like it's not being fair that other countries are taking advantage of us, well, if you have a trade deficit with that country and they're providing goods that cost less by far than what you're providing in the United States or have the capability to produce, that to me, like I don't see how we're getting ripped off. And I too would like more American manufacturing. Like,
What is our biggest exports?
Takes?
I'm seeing that in 2024, the U.S. exported 143 billion worth of goods and materials to China, chiefly oil seeds and grains, oil and gas, machinery, pharmaceuticals, and aerospace products.
Yeah, so like like Boeing, stuff like that. That's from my understanding, that's what our biggest exports are. But again, like I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, I hope this posturing works. Like this could.
But I mean, if you do Liberation Day was a week ago. It was Liberation Week.
He already backed off of it.
It definitely other countries around the world are like, whenever Trump does something, like just wait. He'll get bored.
He's throwing a tantrum.
Yeah, this is gonna. We'll just let him be angry, and then he'll get all his stress out, and then he'll come right back here.
That's what I don't know enough about. I don't know enough about like the Chinese economy and how much they're reliant on our exports. I don't know that, and so it would seem to me that China would, if they're saying, "Hey, we're digging our heels in," maybe they have a plan. I don't know, but I know, like I said, we rely on trade, so that's why.
I would be very interested to see who out there made a fuckload of money in this last week.
Campbell's Soup, apparently.
No, I mean like people that.
Oh.
If anybody shorted the market on like Tuesday of last week, and then bought this morning.
Well, the other day, every like top 20 person in the world was down except Buffett. Buffett was up.
Buffett's up because Buffett liquidated a lot of his stock holdings in the past year, so he just converted them to cash. So he got out of the market a little bit. So I don't know, he probably still has some investments, but for obviously a lot of real estate, but he was protected for the most part because he just didn't have as much money in the market. So his cash stayed like even. Yeah, I wonder if there's anybody that, because you could have made a fuckload of money if you had shorted certain corners of the market last week and then bought before the tariffs were lifted. Or you could also, like, I'm not saying necessarily it's insider or nefarious, but probably didn't take a rocket scientist. I'm accessing the Akashic Records right now. Probably wouldn't take a rocket science to think these tariffs, he might go overboard, might be a big deal. Let's short the market on it. And then start reading the tea leaves this week and be like, there's no chance that he actually sticks to this. He's got to reverse him at some point when the market goes too bad. And so now you get the bounce back. I'm just wondering who out there cashed in on this, because you probably could have made a fuckload of money.
Kevin O'Leary says he wants 400% tariffs on China.
This is posturing. This is so, God, I hate this shit.
So Mexico and Canada are also in the 10% tariff.
Because they did reciprocal tariffs on us when he hiked it originally, right? Because that's what it is. So like Big Z, you said, it
was an extreme tariffs. Run-on sentence. It was difficult to decipher, but my reading of it was, if you don't have a reciprocal tariff on the United States, you're at zero right now for 90 days, and if you do, you're at 10%.
You're at 10%, and except China, he hiked all the way to 125.
Correct.
Okay,
it was already at 104. I mean, it is an appreciable increase.
That matters, bro. Especially as like small businesses, that shit matters.
Yes.
Here's the tweet. We're doing tariffs by tweet now. So this is what Trump himself posted. Based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, I'm hereby raising the tariff charge to China by the United States of America to 125% effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Conversely, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including the Departments of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR, to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs, and that these countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States, I have authorized a 90-day pause and substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So what I'm seeing here is
He's a bully.
It was a test. It was a test, Arian.
He's a bully.
No, it was a test. He was like, I'm going to put tariffs on the entire world, every country,
See who our friends are.
and we'll see who tries to big boy me. And if you don't try to retaliate, then guess what? It was a test all along, and you passed. 10% only. Good job. Am I putting this right?
Well, I think if you didn't retaliate, you're at 0 right now. Is the
You're at
way
0.
I
If you
think.
retaliate at all, you're at 10%.
It says, I've authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%.
See, those
This is-
read to me
there you
as
go.
separate things. They could be the same. I don't know. A 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, meaning 10% if you have a tariff on us. If you don't, you're at nothing.
I think he's pausing the Liberation Day charts, those numbers.
Okay,
Or
it could be.
temporarily,
It's a
yes.
very difficult sentence to read.
I think-
It's 90 words.
I think the temporary increase has been paused, and now it's just 10% for everybody until 90 days, which I'm sure it'll go back up to the original rates. I'm sure that's what he's planning on doing, following through on that. There's zero chance he follows through on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Zero chance. Trump was like, here's what he did this week. He was like, I'm going to take the hardest line stance ever in this negotiation. And then nobody negotiated. And he was like, internally, bad idea. I need to find my way out of it. I know, I'll just say that it's a pause for 90 days. And then we will just.
Well, there were countries negotiating.
Well, they were kissing his ass.
A bunch called in and wanted to negotiate.
They wanted to kiss his ass. They wanted to go Christian Yelich on him.
All right, that's part of the negotiation.
Yeah. So, okay. Are we I feel bad for like his diehards because they're having to update.
You gotta ride.
I don't know
whatever
whose
he
side
says.
anybody is on anymore. Like with the tariffs, Bernie was like on his side, but then everybody else was.
Well, no,
No,
Bernie
he
was
was
not
not.
on his side. Bernie
No.
said, I think pretty similar to what I've said, which is that tariffs are not always bad. Like the word tariff should not be like, holy fuck, the economy's blowing up. They can be useful when they're done intelligently and targeted in a smart way. And this was just like, the entire world, you're on my shit list.
But Bernie was not explicitly opposed.
He was not explicitly opposed to the concept of tariffs
Sure.
being used.
Well, I was saying, and then there are a bunch of people who have been in favor of Trump in the past who are now like, what the fuck's going on? And now it's reversing.
That's why I feel bad for like his diehard day one people, because they're having to update their entire belief system of economic policy on like an hourly basis.
I don't know if feel bad is the word.
the art of
It's
the
a lot
deal.
of work that they have to do.
We're all looking for the guy who
It's a lot of mental gymnastics that you have to pull. So
that's on them.
I don't know. All right, I guess we'll find out like tomorrow morning what's going to change after that. This is going to change every day.
Question.
it's-
For a
It's
while.
tough.
Question.
Mhm.
When do these like go? Like he keeps just saying them and changing them. When do these actually go into effect?
Right.
Well, if I could defend the T-Man real quick,
Yeah, please do.
it's probably a pretty fucking cool feeling to just like
Say it, and
to
then
say, like,
everyone freaks
And
out.
he does that a lot. He just
80%,
says things.
80% Canada,
And buddy,
Pay up.
and the second he says it, the NASDAQ just rockets up.
and then like 2 hours later, be like 60% Canada. You feel like you're in charge. Like the world is stopping and starting at your convenience.
So are they ever gonna happen?
I believe they're immediate.
They are.
In fact, he did say effective immediately.
Yeah.
He didn't say that about the Liberation Day ones, though, did he?
I think
I
there
believe
was
they were.
That was like midnight at I think it was like Friday,
Or that
Friday
was-
or whatever.
Was it supposed to be today? Was April 9th the day that they were supposed to take effect?
I thought it was.
It was
I couldn't remember.
pretty immediate. It was
Okay. So then but that does, so they can just change whenever?
Mhm.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
he put them on whenever.
I didn't know if there was like a holding period where he can fluctuate and then it's like, okay, JK, now this is the actual one.
Yeah, honestly, this is not my bag. I'm just kind of learning.
This moves so fast.
Yeah,
Yesterday,
stuff.
they asked what's his press secretary's name?
Caroline Levitt?
Caroline Levitt. Yesterday they asked her if he was thinking about pausing him, and she said that he is not considering an extension or a pause on the tariffs.
You want to talk about someone who's got the hardest job in the world? She doesn't know what the hell he's gonna do.
No. I think she just here's my read on her, because she is an effective communicator for that world. She's doing everything that he wants her to do. She's good at like going on the attack and just like defending anything that happens in the government or in the White House.
Wait,
But I think she came up in a world where it was like, in her mind, you're MAGA or you're a lunatic leftist deep state insider. So whatever Trump says is going to be correct all the time, and anybody that disagrees is a hater, and they should not be taken seriously. In fact, they should be excommunicated or punished. And that is, I think that's her like actual belief system, that she truly believes in that, which I guess is kind of part of the job, to at least pretend like you believe that if you're a White House communications director. But she's getting fucked on this one.
She seems like she's pretty locked in.
She does.
Again, that's
And poor girl's married to a 59-year-old.
I was reading about that. So her husband is 59.
She's 27.
27. That's fucking weird.
she looks way older than that.
Yeah.
Not to be rude, but
It's also like, you're 27 married to a 59-year-old and you got to do this fucking job?
yeah. Does she have the worst life ever?
Yeah. Like, if you're 27 marrying a 59-year-old, that should come with more benefits.
so how
Like
is
not
this
working, yeah.
like,
Not being
sorry.
Trump's press secretary.
I'm still stuck on this. How is this not insider trading? 3 hours ago, he tweeted it's a great time to buy, and then afterwards, he tweets that he paused all.
Did he
Like,
tell
that
he,
is-
he gave the game away?
Yes.
It's giving, what's that, Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Arian, that's a good point. I don't know. I don't even think he knew 3 hours ago that he was going to do this. That's probably the argument that they're going to have to end up making, because if you tweet out as president, like, now's a great time to buy, like you're advising people to buy ahead of removing the tariffs
Bruh.
because the market's going to go up, that could be considered illegal in some circles. But I
In
honestly
some
believe
circles.
that he didn't know until like an hour ago. And he's like, okay, all right, fine, I'll do it. I'll take.
This is unprecedented. This is uncharted territory.
It's the
We've
best
never seen
Liberation
shit
Day
like
ever.
this before, no.
You have
This
more
is
rules about talking
wild.
about DraftKings.
I do, yeah.
Yes, you literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
He should have to do hashtag NASDAQ partner at the end of the posts.
That's wild.
Like, how, like, yeah.
I don't know, man.
All right, well, the line's going up now.
Who would have thought?
I mean, he does care about that. If
Yes.
you can say one thing about him, like where is he super sensitive? He is very sensitive when all the bigwigs on Wall Street start to lose money and the Dow Jones goes way, way down. That's what happened at the start of COVID, where it was the stock market was going down for like a week, 2 weeks, and then he brought all those CEOs to the White House, and they it was like the CEO of Google and Walmart and shit, and he was like, I'm happy to announce that all these companies have come together to make a new testing process where we are going to harness the power of American businesses to get rapid testing, rapid responses. And then nothing ever happened. Like none of the stuff ever happened, but the market went from being down a whole lot to bouncing back immediately. And then he left that press conference and then had them print out a bunch of copies of the stock market from that day when it bounced back up, and he autographed them and then sent those printouts to the CEOs, being like, "You're welcome."
Hey, bro, this nigga he's one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever seen, dog. Bar none. Holy shit.
All right, well, we're gonna figure out what's happening. I guess there'll be like 5 different updates that we'll have to do next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time this episode drop, ain't no telling what's gonna happen, man.
Art of the deal.
Keep them guessing, baby. Never let them know your next move.
Well, he probably did. Like today,
Yeah, he did.
It went
Let
up.
him know. Let him know what to do.
today it went up.
Yep.
We're still down, but it went up today. The China thing is, I don't know how that's going to play. Is it going to be like China wakes up tomorrow and they're like 150%, and then Trump wakes up the next day, he's like 200%?
It's gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see because this just dropped. So I'm like China's response to this is gonna be interesting.
What it comes down to, it's going to be just 2 guys saying bigger numbers to each other until one person's like, that number's too big. And meanwhile, everybody else in the world is going to be poor.
Yeah, it was like, bro, I'm just trying to buy some t-shirts. Can y'all stop?
Yeah. All right.
Crazy work.
Well, we will see you guys on Tuesday of next week. Until then,
Yeah.
love you guys.